stay and play true defense. And that's very cliche, but I think assignment football is important, especially a team that's, and this is kind of new to us, but we think they run the football quite a bit. At least they have in the past, but new offense, new team, new coach.
Certainly getting into the backfield with 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks last week. They stayed home on their men. They filled their assignments, filled their gaps, and would certainly like to see them stay home again, but then also maybe get into the backfield a little bit more, add a little bit more pressure to that quarterback in his first year starting. And now, the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem of our great country. We'll listen to it here with you. So much to the Hirschi Husky Band. Mr. Woodman doesn't get much better than looking at Old Glory and the Texas flag out there in the middle of a football field under Friday Night Lights in Texas. It's going to be a good night tonight, I think, for the Frenship Tigers. Looking forward to it. I want to say thank you to our stat man, Shane Langen, making it a game out here. We are stacked into a box here, folks, but we're glad to be here to bring you this Tiger action tonight. We might as well be sitting in each other's laps. That might be the next option for us. It's a little snug, but we're glad to be here.
Yeah, this is year 6 for me, but first trip out to Memorial Stadium here in Wichita Falls, and it's an old stadium, but still a goodie. A nice little drop-down stadium where it's dug out a little bit, but a beautiful high school football venue. Plenty of room on the visiting side, which you don't always see. But Tigers getting set. They're wearing their road white uniforms. Icies all the way across. Really like the new Nike look that they've got. Very simplistic, but bold lettering, bold numbers in blue, outlined in gold today. Got the tri-stripe down the pants, blue and gold in the middle. And that Wichita Falls Hirschi has the Monterey colors, if you know what that looks like. It's pretty unique. They've got the all powder blue uniforms on with the red lid. A husky, a vicious looking husky, I might add. It looks more like a wolf.
I believe a mirror husky. It's
yes,
got
a
metallic,
shiny mirror husky that's in that powder blue as well. Tigers with the white helmets, Frenship paws stamped on it, and we are underway.
Cage Jones will boot it down deep into the end zone. This one will actually go out the back of the end zone. Starting running backs Devontae Graham and Amarian Peterson, the backup running back, back there to receive, but no chance for them, so that'll be a touchback for Cage Jones starting things off.
Yep, touchback, and the wind will play a factor tonight, as if you saw in the national anthem, the flag's blowing pretty strong from south to north. It was a hefty wind, probably about 20 miles an hour or so, 15 to 20 miles an hour, so we'll get a healthy dose of wind tonight.
Tigers lining up, trying to figure things out. Looks like a little bit of confusion here. Quarterback on the night is Tristan Randall, his first year starting here for the Huskies. They have a little bit of confusion as well. They have 2 running backs on the near side. Graham goes out in motion to the far side. It's going to be a keeper for number 9, Tristan Randall. He'll be brought down after a 3-yard gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 7 now from the 28-yard line of the Huskies.
Yeah, just a straight keeper up the middle and weaves his way in and out of some traffic. Minimal gain, but Tiger defense is going to have to get used to that. This is going to be an offense that runs quite a bit, and you're going to see a lot of multiple sets as they're going into a new one here with very tight inside or near side to us and split out wide.
And they do bring in receivers tight on the near hash, and now they'll split Graham back out to the left. He calls for the ball twice. It's going to be a fake handoff. Now it is a handoff, and he loses the handle on it, drops it behind him. Stavante Vaughn, check that, tries to make a little shake and bake happen, but he will be brought down for a loss back at the original line of scrimmage. So that'll bring back up 3rd down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Yeah, choice looks like a little confusion there for the Huskies. We heard word that maybe they're still struggling to get this offense under their belt, and they're a little bit slow getting things going and getting the play in.
Oh, that one, I'm not sure who was supposed to have the football, if the quarterback was planning on keeping it or if the running back was going to get it. And I don't think they knew either. Resulted in a fumble. Fortunately for them, they got back on it.
Trips to the far side, ball's on the near hash. Randall with a man open at the 30-yard line. He'll be met immediately by number 29, Colton Anderson, and he'll be dropped before the first down. He picks up 7 on the pass and catch, but that'll bring up 4th down for the Huskies.
Yeah, Anderson immediately read that as soon as the play was there. He was dropped back pretty deep, but saw the receiver in front of him and darted before the football was even there, able to make a good open field tackle. There was no one behind him, so it was good that he got that tackle, and quick 3 and out for the Tiger defense.
And I believe it is Randall, the quarterback, that'll be kicking. It's a high snap. He does get a handle on it. It'll be picked up immediately on the run near midfield by Elijah Garcia. He will be brought down on the Hirschi side of the 50. The ball will be spotted at the 47-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Tigers from there on the Hirschi side of the 50.
And you saw the wind play a factor there. You could see the officials' pants blowing. That's how windy it is. The wind just holds that football up, doesn't allow it to travel much. Wasn't a bad punt, just didn't get very far due to going straight into the teeth of the wind. So Tigers with fantastic field position. We'll see if they can capitalize and turn it into 6 on this opening drive.
Certainly like where they're starting here. Donovan Smith steps in the shotgun as always. Will Bayou split out to his right. Twin receivers on both sides. Ball's on the far hash. Huskies not showing a lot of activity out there. It'll be a handoff to Will Bayou to start things off. He's going to bounce off of the tacklers, and he is fighting his way down. He comes down at the 35-yard line. Beautiful run there by Will Bayou of 12 yards for a first down for the Tigers. Not only did he bounce off of tacklers, but he just scrapped and clawed. Yards after contact, something we saw a lot out of him last week.
We're going to see that stat be really high this year. He had 8.6 yards per carry last week.
So a fake handoff to Bayou this time, and he'll go to Jordan Maiden on the outside right around the numbers. Maiden brought down pretty quickly. He'll lose a yard on the play, so that'll bring up 2nd down and 11 as the Huskies stayed home on Maiden, and he didn't have anywhere to work.
Yeah, Maiden had to go up and get that football just a little bit.
So Donovan Smith already with the ball. Sorry, Choice. Big hole for William Bayou up the middle. He cuts his way through another seam, and he'll take it all the way down to the 25-yard line. Looks like it'll be spotted at the 26. So really nice pickup there by William Bayou to get some yardage back and give the Tigers a short 3rd and 1 after a 10-yard pickup. Already moving. It's a Drew Hocutt. It's an inside screen, and he's got room to work. He makes a man miss, and he's going to take it all the way to the house. That's going to be a touchdown, Tigers, but we got some laundry on the field back here in the area of holding where Drew Hocutt got sprung.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a holding or a block in the back, but it was right in that area. Hocutt makes a fantastic move and makes a player miss at his ankles. So looks like it's going to be all for naught. It does end up being an illegal block in the back on one of the Tiger receivers. I personally didn't see it. It definitely didn't seem close to the play. Hocutt doesn't like the call either. Neither of the Tigers do. But unfortunately, Frenship's gain goes back the other direction.
Drew Hocutt staying here with Donovan Smith, kind of telling him what's going on, what he's seeing out there. When Choice said neither of the Tigers like it, Klein Coker also out there on the outside pleading his case to the back judge, but check that, to the referee. But Tigers will reset now with the ball on the 33-yard line, and it is 3rd down and 8 to go after the penalty. So Donovan Smith steps in. Drew Hocutt still looking a little frustrated as the play comes in for the Tigers. It's going to be twin receivers on both sides. The ball's on the far hash, waiting for a Husky player to come out and get himself set at the defensive line.
What was weird there is the White Hat called timeout and allowed them to get the 11th player on the field for Hirschi.
Maybe an equipment issue that let him hold it up for him. So Smith calls for the ball. Handoff once again to Bayouth. He drags the tackler forward, but he'll just get to the 36. So now you're going to bring up 4th down and 4 yards to go for the Tigers, and now they have a decision to make in that kind of no man's land, and I think they're going to want to go for it.
It is no man's land, but tonight you might have the wind at your back enough to make it. They're going to go anyway.
So trips on the near side. Lone receiver at the top side is Klein Coker. Ball's on the far hash. Now the Groundhogs will pop up and look back for the audible and the change of play from the sideline. So still trips on the near side. It's Cooper Scott, Jordan Maiden, and Drew Hocutt. They all go to the outside, and Smith's looking that way. He's got a man down there. They're hand fighting, and it's overthrown over Jordan Maiden down there right near the pylon. So the Tigers will turn it over on downs on the 29-yard line.
Yeah, Maiden had good one-on-one coverage to go after, but the ball is just simply thrown too far. Even if there was any sort of interference or any sort of fighting, it was too far out of bounds to justify a flag.
Yeah, definitely way overhead there. Maiden was trying to jump and get any finger on it he could, but it was out of bounds and up in the air. So once again, the Tigers are set out here on defense, and they're waiting on the Huskies to come out of their huddle at the sideline. This happened on the kickoff as well, Choice. Never saw a kicking team fully set waiting for the receiving team to get themselves out on the field. But here you have the Husky offense is now out. Twin receivers on both sides. Ball's on the far hash. They'll send number 11 in motion. It'll be a handoff sweep to him. He is met immediately by that Tiger defensive line, and they bring him down with gusto. That's Tristan Laughlin. So check that, a linebacker that gets his way in there and brings down the runner for the Huskies.
Yeah, and then you see the total contrast between these two offenses. Both like to prairie dog and look over to the sideline and get the play call from there, but Frenship always looking to go quick. Hirschi really taking their sweet time, much like Amarillo High did a week ago. They're really waiting to make sure they got it down, and again, this is an offense that's still figuring things out in week 2 of the new regime.
Maybe more figuring here and more gamesmanship last week than we saw. So Randall gets the ball. He's in the shotgun as he has been. He makes a pass underneath at the numbers, but he ends up being brought down by Elijah Garcia riding on his back and does not make the catch. Elijah Garcia is somebody we talked a lot with Coach Northcutt about. He and the linebackers, as well as Colton Anderson, absolutely love to be out there playing football, flying around and hitting folks. Garcia showed it to us there.
Garcia with fantastic coverage all the way over, and might have got a piece of the football as well, but just perfect timing. And one thing about the quarterback, Randall, he's been telegraphing the football everywhere he's going. Watch out for a pick soon.
Colton Kaiser has checked in, as has Brooks Hocutt, so some younger outside corners here on defense as well as safety. So Randall's all the way out. He gets flushed out of the pocket to the near side and tries to throw it downfield. It does fall incomplete, but now you're going to see a pass interference penalty come in here, I believe.
All right, this is a really bad flag here as the defender was going up to get the football. He's making a play on the ball, and he's going to get called for pass interference. I think we may get this one picked up. Would not be surprised. Nope, never mind. We're on the road. I forgot.
Picked up and handed back to the referee as he calls pass interference.
It'll be a 15-yard penalty, but I think Coach Northcutt's got a pretty good gripe here on the pass interference call, and they will once they watch the film for sure. He had a free play on the ball, and it was just overthrown by everybody.
So the 15-yard penalty will end up the ball on the 49-yard line of the Huskies, and they'll have a 1st and 10 from there. 7:18 left to play here in the first quarter. So now you have that tight set once again. 2 receivers on both sides in really tight. Top one's on the numbers. Ball's on that far hash. Randall fake handoff, and he'll try to screen it out to number 11, Amarian Peterson, but it is just out of his outstretched hand, not able to make the catch. So now 2nd down and 10 from that same 49-yard line.
Perfect read by the outside, by the defensive end, Evan Barbosa, as he snuffed out the screen, got in the face of Randall, ultimately gets him knocked down, but he's the one who forced that incompletion from the get-go.
So 4 receiver set again here. Now they're split out a little bit wider. You have twins on both sides. Ball's on the far hash. Vaughn is now going to be on the left of Randall and behind him as he is in the shotgun and calls for the ball. Now you'll send Peterson once again in motion. Randall's going to be a keeper, and he's going to be met once again immediately at the line of scrimmage. May give him a yard as he falls forward. Kaysen Brito on top of him. Not a guy that you want his full weight falling on top. There were other Tigers in the middle of that one as well. Jake Gilbert one that I noticed, as well as Logan Douglas.
This Tiger front seven is getting a fantastic push up front and did last week as well. They are just penetrating that offensive line, and the quarterback, Randall, if he's going to be running straight up the middle, he's not going to get a whole lot tonight.
So Brooks Hokut, the corner down here at the numbers on the near side. Now you're going to have trips on this near side and a lone receiver at the top. Ball's on that far hash still. Nice to see Brooks Hokut in, getting a little bit more work here as the underclassman. So Randall can't get the handle on the snap, and he's got two Tigers after him. They're going to bring him down in the backfield, and that's going to be a 4-yard loss from the line of scrimmage. Ball's going to be back at the 46-yard line. Logan Douglas got to him first, and ultimately 2 or 3 Tigers brought him down. A lot of times to see your quarterback getting hit this early in the game, Choice.
Yeah, definitely a great sack by the Tigers, forced by the initial mistake by dropping the football, but Frenship, had he just caught the ball cleanly off the snap, they would have had great pressure anyway. 4 Tigers in the backfield.
So you got Garcia in the back ready to receive the punt from Randall. He kind of muffs this one. Not a great hit off the side of the foot. It'll land right at the Tigers' 30-yard line and come to rest there. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers from their own 30. We have 5:36 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, quarter rolling along. Still offense is struggling. Tiger offense moved a little bit. Didn't get into the end zone. Hirschi offense really has not been able to get anything going so far this evening. I believe the only first down is off of that penalty. So Frenship going to try to get things going offensively with the wind at their back. Frenship starting 1st and 10 from the 30.
Tigers got the hog mollies out there. Cody Halpane, Cody Barker, Ty Johnson, Jack Woodward, Caleb Eugenius, all out there doing work. William Bayouth with the handoff and spins around just past the line of scrimmage. He'll be brought down there after a 2-yard pickup. I tell you what, a young man that has put in some work in the offseason, Choice. Always a good athlete, but now showing more strength than we've seen from him before.
Bayouth with his 4th carry tonight, up to a total of 30 yards.
Donovan Smith gets the ball in the shotgun. It's a fake handoff to Bayouth, and he sends it across the middle to Jordan Maiden at the 38-yard line, who goes up high for the catch and comes down with it. So now a new set of downs after that nice passing catch to Jordan Maiden. Will be 1st and 10 from the Tigers' 42-yard line. Sorry about that, Choice. Donovan Smith going so fast, and now we're going to have a false start on the Tigers. So You get a chance to tell us what you think, because they are screaming down there.
Well, the previous play was just a simple slant pattern that goes for 10 yards to Jordan Maiden, but Maiden actually the one getting a little quick-footed here. He took off before the ball was there, or before the ball was snapped, so he ends up with the penalty to slow the Tiger offense down a bit. Nice to see Cooper Scott back out there after missing him in week 1.
Scott and Maiden stacked on the near side. You have stacked receivers on the far side too. Smith with the ball. He feels a little bit of pressure. He's going to roll out to his right, and he's got plenty of room to work. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage as he took a long way around, and that'll leave the ball still now. 3rd, should be 2nd down and 10. I don't know where they marked him out here.
They said
he stepped out at the 40, so it'll be a 2nd down and 12 for the Tigers from their own 40-yard line.
Go about closer to the 41 after the spot. I'm not sure they knew where they were going to spot.
I don't think they decided late.
They're floating around.
So Donovan Smith gets the ball, twin receivers both sides. He's going to look up to Drew Hokut, who dives back towards it, ball a little bit behind him, and it flies out of bounds. So an incomplete pass there brings 3rd down and 12 for the Tigers. So once again, as you talked about your keys to the game, Tigers not getting themselves in those 3rd and short situations that you saw last week, kind of finding some 3rd and longs here, and need to find the answer and get that accuracy right where it needs to be.
Tigers were really good on 3rd down last week, and trying to sift through it all, figure things out, get their bus legs off of them.
Bayouth out to Smith's left. He'll take the ball and spend plenty of time to look. Nice pass and catch to Jordan Maiden. Going to be a good pickup there of 11 yards, and that'll be, I guess it was 12 yards. They're going to give him the 1st down, Choice, maybe 13. And so the ball will be 1st and 10 now with 4:44 left, and that is on the 46-yard line of Hirschi. They're going to have a handoff to William Bayouth immediately. Tigers working quickly as usual, and that's going to be a 3-yard pickup for Bayouth down to the 43-yard line. Tigers already lining back up, Twins on both sides. Smith with the ball. He has plenty of time to work back there. Nice double team by that offensive line, and he's got Cooper Scott down the sideline. He throws it out of bounds over Scott's head, but the defender who was double covering Scott pushes him down out of bounds, and now you'll have the late flag come in on him.
Yeah, just a silly play by the defender. I believe that was Fred Fleeks, the senior, not making a very senior-like play because Scott, I mean, the ball's well out of bounds, and he just shoves him down for no reason. Play is well over, and there's a post-play penalty that's 15 extra yards for the Tigers. So a fortunate pickup for Frenship after the incomplete pass.
So Fleeks just surprising their choice. 5'11", 215-pound senior, as you said, 81 tackles last season, was first on the team, had a pick and a fumble recovery last season as well. Just not a guy you expect that from.
A little too aggressive.
So trips on the near side. It's going to be a handoff to Bayouth, who's tripped up almost immediately. He may have lost a yard on that play, so now you'll have first down and 11 from the Tigers 20. Check that, from the Hirschi 29-yard line. 4:08 left in the first quarter, and it's ticking down.
Yeah, that's one thing that is impressive about this front four or so, about the entire team for Hirschi, is they've got some beef up front on the defensive line. So Bayouth may find a little more struggle running the football this week than he did a week ago.
I can only find Donovan Smith already with the ball. He tries to go to Drew Hokut in the slot, and it'll be off the hands of Hokut. And so that'll bring up third down and 11 now for the Tigers. I was going to say I can only find height and weight on a couple of those linemen. Chris Murray, the defensive end, 6'3", 235. Latravius Deaver-Wiley, 6'2", 240. There's definitely beef down there to be found.
No doubt about it. And that last ball, a ball that Hokut will tell you he should have caught. It was in a very tight window, but it hit him in the hands, and probably should have caught it.
Kind of off the wrist. So twin receivers both sides. Smith drops way back, goes to Maiden at the numbers, but he'll be drugged down around the waist immediately. And now there's a flag downfield at number 11, Amarian Peterson. What'd you see down there, Choice?
I'm curious about this because I didn't see anything. It was well away from the football. They're going to wave it off. Okay.
Yeah, he was out there by himself about the 5-yard line. No Tigers around.
Yeah.
I mean, all you're doing then is just making mama jokes at the official to get a flag in that situation.
I'm not sure what was going on, but Tigers, again, where they've floated a lot the last 2 weeks, right around that 30-yard line going in, and it's a 4th and 11 here. Looks like they'll go for it.
4th and 11 from the 29. Trips on the far side. Bayouth goes out into a route. Donovan Smith has all kinds of room in front of him. He's going to go to the end zone. He's got Klein Coker down there just out of reach of his fingertips. The defender was on him, but he made sure to get the hands up. And that's going to be another turnover on downs for the Tigers. Looks like one their choice that Donovan Smith probably could have used his legs with as much green as he had in front of him.
Yeah, I think he probably could have, but it looked like that pass was maybe a little bit more of a sure thing. The only problem there, I think you see the wind playing a factor again, where the ball just kind of sails a little bit further than Coker expected. He started to come back to the football and then realized it was going to go over him. Got a hand on it, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, sailed a little on him. Couldn't get the nose to drop as it went down in that arc. So Hirschi offense back in. Tigers showing blitz here, coming around the side. Randall's going to go deep down the sideline, but his receiver was not running the route down. He was blocking, is what it looked like. So now you're going to have an incomplete pass, bring up 2nd and 10 now for the Huskies from their own 29-yard line.
Yeah, simple miscommunication there between the receiver and the quarterback. He ran about a 10-yard curl pattern, and his quarterback was looking for the fly. Definite miscommunication there.
So twin receivers on the near side and then twins on the far side, but split out. Ball's on the near hash. Vaughn out to Randall's left. Haven't seen much action from him, and now he'll get the handoff, and he will meet the entire Tiger front 7 almost immediately. He picks up, I think they're going to be generous and give him a yard because he fell over the front of the pile there. And so that will bring up 3rd down and 9 on the 30-yard line as the clock ticks down close to 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Tigers defense still looking stout and still forcing offenses into long 3rd down situations. They've been pretty good so far this year about getting off the field on 3rd and long, which was a big Achilles heel for this defense a season ago. So See if they can continue that trend in the right direction.
Long look in, waiting for the play. Clock's down to 10 seconds now for the Huskies. They have come set. Twin receivers on both sides. Tigers dropping out back into coverage, and then there's a lot of pressure coming around from the right side. Chases Randall all the way around, and he'll step out of bounds at the 45-yard line, but it is plenty for the first down. A 15-yard pickup by Randall on the ground, and that will, with 2:33 left in the first quarter, bring up a 1st and 10 from the Hirschi Huskies 45.
And that's the difference in pressuring and containing. The Tigers had plenty in the backfield to get pressure, but no one in front to contain the quarterback, and he had plenty of green in front of him to take off. Picks up about 15 yards on the play.
So trips on the far side, ball's on the near hash. Tristan Randall calling for it now. Hearing a little life from the crowd here. He tries to go to Peterson, but ends up throwing over the top of him. Amarian Peterson says he's 6'1", 175, and that ball sailed way over his outstretched hand. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 10, but stop the clock at 2:30 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was a play where it was a dangerous one. Tigers, if they were about a split second ahead, would have been able to pick that and run it into the end zone, but pass was just a little too high for everybody.
Still scoreless here as the Tigers defense has stood strong, but Tigers offense has turned it over twice on downs. Trips on the far side for the Hirschi Huskies. 2nd and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Now he goes to Peterson, who almost falls down to his knees. He tries to do some shake and bacon down there in the middle, but now all of a sudden you have a scrum. He's losing the ball on the ground as well. Tigers trying to jump on that, but loses forward progress, and so you'll still be on 3rd and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Coach Northcutt's arguing to the official near him that the elbow touched the ground, and I really think it did. It looked like he was on the ground. Should have been a loss of about 3 yards, but instead they go ahead and give it to him back to the line of scrimmage. Tigers again, 3rd and long. See if they can get off the field this time.
As you said, Choice, on that catch, does go down, bends the knees way down, and did look like he got an elbow to the ground, but they rule him down on forward progress. So ball in the same place. Huskies are waiting here, continuing to look. Clock down to 5 seconds now. Trips on the far side. He sends Vaughn out to his left, down to 1 second. Cutting it close here. Tristan Randall will move the pocket out, and he's got pressure all over him. He goes to the middle of the field, and number 13, Ernest Young, goes up for the ball, but it is way past his outstretched hands. He was covered very well out there by Brooks Hocutt, who had a lot of height on him.
Yeah, just overthrows the receiver, but a pretty impressive job by Randall to just get that pass off in the first place. He's shifty in the pocket. Tigers have been getting pressure, haven't been able to get him down, but just for 1 sack so far tonight. There's been a lot more pressure than that 1 sack shows.
So 4th down and 10 on the Hirschi 45, 1:30 left in the quarter. Tristan Randall punts for the Huskies. He'll send it down there, and it'll be fair caught by Elijah Garcia at the Tigers' 27-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from there after the Tigers receive another punt. So defense continuing to do its job now. Offense needs to find a way to click, Choice.
Frenship has forced 3 punts so far this evening. Offense over 2 on 3rd down plays, I believe. 0 for 2 on 4th downs, 2 for 5, 1 for 3 so far on 3rd downs. So this is a Tigers offense that's still trying to find itself tonight.
Yeah, not clicking right now.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit of everything, a drop pass here or there, an overthrown pass.
So bunch trips on the far side. Donovan Smith gets the ball, thinks about it a couple of times, and then steps back in the pocket. He throws it away at the 1st down marker. Sorry about that, Choice. Had to hop in on you there.
Sometimes that's exactly what your job is as a quarterback. To quote Coach Yost from this week at Texas Tech, it's your job to decide to fold and move on to the next hand, not try to do something too much when there's nothing there.
Yeah, he kind of almost pump faked with his body a couple times, thinking about trying to run it up the middle, but then just broke out to the outside and decided to start over. So Maiden goes in motion all the way around the side, but it's a handoff to Bayouth, who is met immediately by 2 defenders from Hirschi. They sniffed that one out from the beginning, Choice.
Yeah, that one was one where they just got good pressure, and beef beats beef sometimes. The defensive line just overpowers that left side of the Tiger offensive line. Bayouth never had a chance. As soon as he got the handoff, he was swarmed by blue jerseys.
Yeah, safety of Rod Berry, and then Cameron Whitehead, defensive tackle, got in on that one and put shoulders on him. So Drew Hocutt in the slot, getting a catch here at the 25 from Donovan Smith, but he also met immediately, and the ball will be down at the Tigers' 23-yard line. So now Tigers at 3rd and 14 from the 23, and the clock ticking down to about 30 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Tigers, I'm trying to see if the play clock lines up. It's right there where
very close.
I can't tell if they have to run a play or not, but they probably will run one more before the quarter comes to an end.
Play clock about a quarter of a second ahead,
and
I
you
think.
do want to punt this with the wind at your back right now.
So Cage Jones back to punt, and he will send a boomer down there. Cage Jones was certainly the best leg in District 2 6A. It'll bounce about the 25-yard line and roll back to about the 19. And so now time does expire in the first quarter. Hirschi Huskies will take it over at the 19-yard line. Well, we're still scoreless here at the end of the first quarter, folks. Tigers 0, Huskies 0, and need to see something here from the Tiger offense, but the defense coming in. This is Frenship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
Say goodbye to summer with huge savings at Gene Messer Toyota. Right now, drive the new 2019 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $299 a month. Or choose between 0% APR for 60 months or $3,000 retail customer cash on new 2019 Toyota Highlander gas models. Gene Messer, business done the right way. 19th and West Loop 289. GeneMesserToyota.com.
In its support of Frenship School District, your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Frenship ISD. Atlas Audiology, Daybreak Coffee, Wellington State Bank, PFG Advisors, United Supermarkets, and Frenship Alumni and Friends. The Frenship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Loss on the play for Stavonte Graham.
Yeah, and that was actually a rushing play, too, because he threw that behind the line of scrimmage. So this is a loss rushing for Wichita Falls. Hirschi. I haven't seen either offense click very well so far tonight. Defenses have ruled the game, so we'll see who makes the first mistake defensively. Big play might be what really helps these offenses get started up.
So 2nd down and 13, the ball on the 17-yard line. And we're going to have a timeout now here by the Huskies. Did you see the call, Choice? I apologize.
Yeah, he called timeout, but I'm not sure what happened. It was weird. The one receiver just came off. No one else was ready for the timeout, so I guess
I'm glad it wasn't just me.
No, it was kind of weird. Everybody's sat and ready to go, but they just decided, we're going to take a look at some stuff. But so far, Keith, this Tiger defense, I mean, we've talked highly of them through the first 5 quarters of the season, as we should. They've still pitched a shutout, knocking on the wood over here through the first 5 quarters of the season. But this is a Tiger defense that hasn't had to deal with any sort of tiredness yet either. And they've been out there quite a bit so far tonight. So we'll see if the offense can sustain some drives to give their defense a little bit of a break.
Absolutely, yeah. The Tiger offense just trying to – it seems like – is it a rhythm? What are you seeing?
I think
it's not
just
so much timing. It's just
I think you're just seeing it just a little bit off tonight. You've seen some throws a little bit off. You've seen some missed blocks. It's just not as crisp as we saw it last week.
Welcome to road trips, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah. Too much good food on the road, too much time on the bus. So hopefully the Tigers settle in. So the Hirschi Huskies now 2nd and 12 from their own 17-yard line after the loss on the previous play. Tristan Randall wants to go downfield. He's got a man down there, and it's Peterson. He's taking it all the way down. He's got plenty of room. He's got all kinds of Tigers after him, but they are not going to catch him. They knock the ball out as he crosses into the end zone, but the touchdown signal is still there. Huge pass and catch there to Tristan Peterson for the first score of the game. With 10:59 left in the second quarter, the Huskies will lead the Tigers 6-0.
Well, I'm going to take the L on that one for, even though I knocked on the wood, I did say that they had pitched a shutout so far. I also did say that the big play might start the offenses up, and I think that's exactly what that timeout was about. They called the timeout because they saw something in coverage that they liked. They have a lot of speed, obviously, on the outside, and tried to get behind the safeties, did just that. So we see the first points against the Tiger defense so far this year. First time the Tigers have trailed so far this year.
83-yard pass and catch from Tristan Randall to Amarion Peterson. And now the extra point will be good for the Hirschi Huskies. So with 10:59 left in the second quarter, the Huskies lead the Tigers 7-0. This is Friendship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
When you need to do some serious hauling, come on over to Lubbock Truck Sales, the truck and trailer specialists. Parts are never a problem. We can source any part for any need, serving the South Plains since 1990. Lubbock Truck Sales supports Texas Tech University and provides equipment transportation for the Red Raider football team and the Goin' Band from Raiderland. For sales, service, and support, come to Lubbock Truck Sales.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Your home for play-by-play, Double T 97.3.
Welcome back to Friendship Tiger football. Huskies lead at 7-0 over the Friendship Tigers. 10:59 left in the second quarter. Kickoff here from the Huskies, and it'll be caught in the end zone and brought out by number 5, Ty Glass. Have not seen him return a kick yet. He takes it all the way up to the 25, dancing around a little bit, trying to get a little extra space. It'll be down at the 26-yard line after that return by the wide receiver.
Yeah, Glass's momentum carried him backwards into the end zone. Probably still could have taken a knee there, but ultimately gets the 1 extra yard, so I guess it's worth it. Comes out. Tigers defense surrenders the first score of the season. Tigers offense still trying to get going. We've seen spurts tonight. Jordan Maiden specifically has been good. We've seen him catch 4 passes this evening for 21 yards, but no other Tigers have caught a pass yet this evening. This is a rarity.
Yeah, spread the ball around is kind of part of the offense. So Donovan Smith takes it. It'll be a delayed handoff to Will Bayouth, who has a lot of room to work with. He's out running guys all over the place. He'll be brought down by the quarterback or the touchdown receiver, Peterson, playing on both sides. But it will be an 11-yard gain for William Bayouth and a first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, a nice run by Bayouth. He really breaks that one open, sheds some tackles like he always does.
So 12-yard pickup there by Bayouth, and now Donovan Smith will go for it immediately, and he'll get a pass and catch to Klein Coker at the 45-yard line. So a 7-yard pickup very quickly as the Tigers bringing in the tempo. Bayouth will check out in favor of the backup running back, Aaron Brown. So Tigers with split receivers on both sides, ball on the near hash. And Donovan Smith, fake handoff to Brown. It'll be a bubble screen to Drew Hookutt. He's got all kinds of room, and he is through the defense. He's streaking down the sideline, and there's nobody going to touch him. That's going to be a touchdown, Tigers, for Drew Hookutt. Fantastic pass and catch. Nice job finding the seam by Hookutt. The screen works perfectly, and it'll be 7-6 Huskies with 10:06 left with the extra point incoming.
Yeah, Hookutt does exactly what he's supposed to, but got to credit his blockers out there. Klein Coker, the one that caught the previous pass, throws a great block to open it up, and Hookutt shows off the wheels there, outrunning everybody. Nobody having a chance to catch him for the touchdown.
Exactly the guy you want in the slot right there, Choice. Extra point from Cage Jones is up, and it is good. So we have a tie ball game here in Wichita Falls, Texas. Huskies 7, Tigers 7, 10:06 left in the second quarter. This is Friendship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
Say goodbye to summer with huge savings at Gene Messer Toyota. Right now, drive the new 2019 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $299 a month. Or choose between 0% APR for 60 months or $3,000 retail customer cash on new 2019 Toyota Highlander gas models. Gene Messer, business done the right way. 19th and West Loop 289. GeneMesserToyota.com.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Cut from Donovan Smith. Tigers tie the ball game up with the Hirschi Huskies with 10:06 left here in the second quarter. Cage Jones has it teed up. The Huskies are coming on the field here to get their team ready to roll and receive the kickoff from the Tigers. Jones will boot it deep. It's going to get down to about the 5-yard line, and it'll be caught there by the Huskies, who will take it up. He slow rolls it and gets his way through the defense, but he will be brought down, and it's Ty Glass out there in coverage at the 20-yard line that brought the ball carrier down. It was Stavonte Vaughn, and there's 9:58 left here in the second quarter, and the Hirschi Huskies will start at their own 20-yard line.
So the Tiger offense puts together a drive to answer the Hirschi Huskies score. Friendship goes 3 plays, 74 yards, 46 seconds off the clock, and it closes out in the 54-yard touchdown pass from Donovan Smith to Drew Hokut to tie this sucker up at 7 apiece.
So after the Gene Messer Toyota kickoff, the Hirschi Huskies will start at their own 19-yard line as they face the Tigers here. Tie ball game, 9:58 left in the second quarter. So Tristan Randall is still in at quarterback. He has Stavonte Graham, his running back, split out to the left, and that's going to be a delay of game on the Huskies. They've been cutting it close all game, and this time it bit them as they have a delay of game penalty called.
That was just that's just inexperience at the quarterback position. You got to get that off, and can't have pre-snap penalties. That hurts your team. But now 1st and 15 sure is a lot longer than that 1st and 10.
1st and 15 now, as you said, choice from the 14-yard line. It'll be snapped, and it's a reverse after the fake handoff, and he's splitting his way through the defense, but he'll get past just the line, the original line of scrimmage. That'll be a 3-yard pickup from that original line, and he makes his way through. I missed the ball carrier there, Choice. Did you see who that was? I believe it was Stavonte Graham, or
yeah, I think it was
Stavonte Vaughn.
I think it was KD.
Actually, it was KD Dorsey.
Yeah,
KD Dorsey,
who is technically an inside receiver. We got a face mask call afterwards. Never saw that penalty flag.
I saw that fly into the pile there,
Okay.
but wasn't sure what the call was going to be. A little bit discombobulated here. We gotta get the game together. All right, so the ball will be placed now at the 37-yard line of the Huskies. They'll have 1st and 10 there after the penalties. 9:50 left here in the second quarter.
Tigers didn't have too many penalties a week ago. Only 5 against Friendship the entire game last week. They've got 3 so far today. 2 of them are the 15-yard variety. 4.
Twin receivers on both sides, and there'll be a handoff from Randall to his running back, who's brought down under a gang tackle. He picks up about a yard on the play, bringing up 2nd down and 9 for the Huskies, and that was Stavonte Vaughn, the starting running back, that was under that big mass of humanity there.
Yeah, this is a definitely committee approach for this Wichita Falls Hirschi team. You look for all the extra jerseys on the sideline, and there just simply aren't any. I think they might be able to field a 3rd team, or a 2nd team, excuse me, if they wanted to, but it would be difficult. I'm not sure they have 11 on the sideline.
I count 10 on the sidelines right now, Choice. That's
a thin team.
Yep. So twin receivers both sides, ball in the near hash. Handoff again to Vaughn, and he'll be brought down. His ankles were grabbed by Trace Buchanan of the Tigers and held up his forward momentum, and he comes down on the 41-yard line, so that'll be a pickup of 4 yards for the Huskies, bringing up 3rd down and 6 on that 41 ball. Clock ticking, about 8:30 left here in the first half.
Yeah, that's an offense that's still trying to fight to get the push up front, but the Tigers' front 4 has been really good. A likely passing situation here. We'll see if they try to go over the top. That speed they've got at the receiver position, one-on-one coverage to our high side.
So twin receivers on the near side. You have a single out on the far side. Ball's in the near house. Randall's going to feel the pressure. He's going to go downfield on the run. He has a man out there being covered by being covered by Brooks Hokut, but the ball is overthrown and drops incomplete. So that'll bring up 4th down and 6, 7:59 left in the first half. That ball on the 41-yard line of the Huskies.
And that's exactly what they tried to do is go to that one-on-one coverage that Hokut had up top. But this was a team this was a job by Hokut that was really good. The receiver had about a half a step on him, but he stayed tight the entire way, forcing the punt.
So single receiver. Oh, check that. This is a punt. There's no receivers out there.
Technically, he is still a receiver.
He's kind of a receiver out there. He could be. Hopefully not for the Tigers' benefit. Oh, ball's on the ground, and it goes through Randall's legs, and it's going to be grabbed by the Tigers. They're going to have the ball. That's Evan Barboza. They're going to have the ball at the 29-yard line. Check that, 24-yard line of the Huskies. Great field position after the miscue there on the deep snap to Randall, the punter.
What was odd about Randall, who's also the quarterback, he was very nonchalant when the ball hit the ground initially, like he thought, I'm just going to pick it up and punt it, but he never was able to completely pick it up. Then he panicked once he whiffed on the first try to pick it up off the turf, and Barboza, fantastic headiness, dives on that football, gives the Tigers great starting field position for this drive, and Frenship knocking on the door of the red zone to get this sucker started.
So stacked twins on both sides. Drew Hokut goes in motion from right to left. Donovan Smith drops back and lets the screen set up. Will they use sheds a tackler, and he's going to be brought down just short of the 10-yard line. Really interesting play there. Both twin receivers on both sides all stacked, setting up that screen there. And that'll be 1st and 10 from the 10 for the Tigers. 7:42, the clock's ticking down. Donovan Smith, fake handoff to Will Bayouth. He'll go outside to Cooper Scott, who makes a man miss a la Wes Welker. We've seen him do that before, but he'll be brought down almost immediately after the 3-yard pickup. Ball's going to be at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, Scott with just a little Olay move, throwing his defender by him. Gets by, not a huge gain, but a nice play.
And now the snap to Smith. He's looking to the end zone. He's got men crossing the field. Now he'll roll the pocket out to the right and take it himself. He's going to walk in without being touched. That's a touchdown, Tigers, on the 7-yard rush by Donovan Smith. Tigers are going to take the lead 13-7 over the Huskies with the extra point incoming with 7:11 left in the first half.
Great recognition by your quarterback, Donovan Smith. Again, he doesn't like to tuck it and run too much, but there was just too much out in front of him, and it doesn't even look like running when he runs. It's like gliding across the field.
I had a comparison come my way this week that he looks kind of like Vince Young out there. Not the direct comparison, but the gazelle running looks a little bit effortless. Extra point by Cage Jones is good, so the Tigers will lead at 14-7 with 7:11 left in the first half. This is Friendship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
When you need to do some serious hauling, come on over to Lubbock Truck Sales, the truck and trailer specialists. Parts are never a problem. We can source any part for any need, serving the South Plains since 1990. Lubbock Truck Sales supports Texas Tech University and provides equipment transportation for the Red Raider football team and the Goin' Band from Raiderland. For sales, service, and support, come to Lubbock Truck Sales.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Lubbock Sports Station is Double T 97.3. Locally owned and operated by Raymar Communications. KTTU-FM and HD1. New Deal Lubbock.
Welcome back to Friendship Tiger football in Wichita Falls, Texas. Tigers lead at 14-7 over the Hirschi Huskies. 7:11 left in the first half. On the Cage Jones kickoff, the ball bounces around the Huskies' 25-yard line. It is touched by a Husky and covered up by Caden Lowry. So the Tigers will have the ball again. It'll be at the Huskies' 19-yard line. So once again, after a special teams miscue by the Hirschi Huskies, Tigers will have fantastic field position.
Yeah, it was just a pooch kick that goes near the sideline, and the back man for Hirschi, let it bounce in front of him, but it had backspin on it. It's the good old-fashioned unintentional onside kick for the Tigers that ends up getting them the ball all the way down to the 19. So starting field position in the red zone. Tigers really have a chance to go up by a couple of touchdowns here, and that'd be a big one for Frenship.
Most definitely went 10 yards. Donovan Smith flushed out to the left, and he will be brought down in the backfield. So that's going to be a loss. That is a loss of 6 yards on the play, bringing Donovan Smith down. So that brings up 2nd down and 16 for the Tigers in Hirschi territory.
Well, didn't have a chance to get to this, but scoring drive summary. Frenship on the previous drive goes just 3 plays, 19 yards, 43 seconds off the clock.
Donovan Smith takes it outside to Cooper Scott. Ball's a little bit low and outside. That'll be an incomplete pass. Now the Tigers facing 3rd down and 16 on the Huskies' 26-yard line. Twice now you've seen the Gene Messer Toyota kickoff play big for this Tigers team. You hope they can capitalize on it here.
And I think what you got to think here, if you're Frenship, you've got a whole 16 yards to go. You need to get a chunk of it back here because you're kicking into the wind, probably outside of field goal range right now.
Twin receivers, both sides, all stacked. Donovan Smith stands back plenty of time, looks across the middle of the field. He has Jordan Maiden right in the middle. Maiden makes a man miss, sheds a tackler, and gets all the way down to the 1-yard line. But there is flags in the backfield as we're looking at potentially holding in the protection of Donovan Smith.
I'm going to go ahead and say definite holding. This was on the left side of the Tigers' offensive line where a man got beaten. He just grabbed a whole handful of jersey. So this will be another 10 yards back, going from 3rd and 16 to 3rd and 26 for Frenship. So definitely out of field goal range at this point. We'll probably see the Tigers, again, just trying to go get a chunk of it, even though they got the 1st down without the penalty, or if there wasn't a penalty. But Frenship just needs to get some of it back here to try to set up a 4th and manageable.
This is where you see the leadership and character of Donovan Smith as he's picking up Cody Halpayne back there and telling him it's all right, we're going to do just fine. So trips on the near side, balls on the far hash. Donovan Smith goes down to Ty Glass, has him back at the original line of scrimmage, but once again we're going to have some yellow on the green in the backfield.
But get this is not going to be on Frenship, and this is going to be an automatic 1st down. We're going to have illegal hands to the face on Hirschi. So the Tigers, while they picked up a good chunk of yards, they're going to get a personal foul, which turns into an automatic 1st down. So forget the 3rd and 26, a big mistake by Hirschi here.
The Tigers picked up 17 yards on the pass and catch to Jordan Maiden, but now with the penalty, they'll be walking themselves further down.
Yeah, so no pass and catch technically. Right. This will just be the 15 yards.
15 yards brings the ball to the 19-yard line of the Hirschi Huskies with 6:21 left here in the 1st half. Tigers leading at 14-7. Actually, they're going to take it from the end of the play.
There you go.
So now they're walking it off half the distance to the goal from the end of the play, which was at the 19-yard line. There was that pass and catch pickup, and now the ball will be at the 9-yard line, roughly between the 8 and 9, and a 1st down for the Tigers.
So that is a big mistake by Hirschi.
Huge mistake by Hirschi. So stacked twins on both sides, and you'll have Will Bayouth out into the flat in motion. Ball is swatted as Donovan Smith throws it by the defense of the Huskies, and that'll bring up an incomplete pass and 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers.
Yeah, really good pressure up front by the Husky defense.
That was Chris Murray out there, the defensive lineman.
Chris Murray just gets in the face of Smith and swats it down.
So Donovan Smith with the ball. It's going to be a handoff to Will Bayouth, and he fights his way forward for a couple of positive yards.
A late penalty flag coming in with some extracurricular after the play.
A little bit of talking out there going on. Cooler heads prevail, pull guys apart, pats on helmets, but there is the flag that comes in, and it's actually Murray raising his hand towards his own sideline, so makes the big play and then potentially causes a little bit of trouble. Murray, a big guy, 6'3", 235, as he was bearing down on Donovan Smith earlier, swatting that ball.
I was in a bit of a scrum where I couldn't quite see it from my vantage point, but I'm not sure who was caught second is usually how this works.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to be unsportsmanlike on Hirschi, so an automatic 1st down. Half the distance for Frenship will be 1st and goal from about the...
It'll be about the 4. The ball was on the 8. It was 2nd and goal from the 8, so the ball will be on about the 4-yard line. Yep, that's where they place it. So you'll have First and goal on the 4-yard line for the Tigers. They lead 14-7 over the Huskies. 6:05 left here in the first half. Things have slowed down here with the penalties, but still exciting moments for the Tigers as they attempt to capitalize on some miscues on the Gene Messer Toyota kickoff. Donovan Smith with the ball. It's going to be a handoff to Will Bayouth, who battles his way forward. He's knocked down sideways at about the 1-yard line. So that is first and goal now, or second and goal now from the 1 after the Will Bayouth run.
Bayouth fights and fights and fights just to get a few short yards. He'll probably get it again here.
And he does get it again, and he will go in untouched. So that's going to be a touchdown, Tigers. The 1-yard run by William Bayouth. Tigers will lead it 20-7 over the Huskies. 5:45 left in the first half with the extra point incoming.
And that's just that's just going with what got you there. Will Bayouth fights hard to get that previous 3 yards, and you will reward him to get into the end zone after that. That's Bayouth's 3rd touchdown run of the season.
So Cage Jones prepares for the kick. Tanner Higgins calls for it. It's up, and it is good. Cage Jones remains perfect on the season, and the Tigers lead it 21-7 over the Hirschi Huskies. 5:45 left in the first half. This is Frenship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
Say goodbye to summer with huge savings at Gene Messer Toyota. Right now, drive the new 2019 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $299 a month. Or choose between 0% APR for 60 months or $3,000 retail customer cash on new 2019 Toyota Highlander gas models. Gene Messer, business done the right way. 19th and West Loop 289. GeneMesserToyota.com.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership in its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Atlas Audiology, Daybreak Coffee, Wellington State Bank, PFG Advisors, United Supermarkets, and Friendship Alumni and Friends. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Double T 97.3, Lubbock Sports Station.
Welcome back to Friendship Tiger football from Wichita Falls, Texas. Tigers leading the Hirschi Huskies 21-7, 5:45 left in the first half after the William Bayouth touchdown.
Gene Messer Toyota kickoff goes through the end zone, and Friendship goes 7 plays on that previous drive, 19 yards. 1:26 off the clock, and it's capped off by the 1-yard touchdown run for Will Bayouth. That was the longest 19 yards ever. They were back beyond the 40 at one point on that drive due to some penalties, but work it back out.
Tyson Randall with the ball, and he will go outside to the numbers. His receiver will be pushed out at the 30. Oh, it was an incomplete pass. Check that. I'm sorry, Choice. Too busy messing with things over here.
Well, he dropped it. He had it in his hands for a little bit, but it fell to the turf. Again, good coverage by Brooks Hokut. They're really targeting the sophomore quite a bit, and he's answered the call for the most part well tonight.
He has. Brooks Hokut, bigger bodied athlete than I think I realized. Seeing him out there on the field, and he does bring a little bit more beef than you would think that he did. So handoff here to Vaughn. He drops the ball and is looking for it. It's going to be picked up by the Tigers. Vaughn couldn't find it on the ground. That's because it was in the hands of a Tiger defender.
It's Jake Gilbert that recovers it. Gilbert's in the right place at the right time. I think he ran into the back of his own defender, and that's what of his own offensive lineman, and that's what jarred the ball loose. Gilbert just falls on top of it, and for Hirschi, when it rains, it pours, and it is raining cats and dogs right now.
It is pouring right now, and we had heard that Hirschi was trying to find their identity, struggling a little bit. The coaching change is tough. You lose a huge offensive weapon from last year now to TCU. There's a lot of pieces to put back together, and you're certainly seeing those growing pains here, Choice. So twin receivers on both sides, stacked as we've seen before. Ball's on the near hash. Will Bayouth will go out in motion to the flat, and he'll get the pass. Will Bayouth has a head of steam, but he trips on the turf, falls forward back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 on that 28-yard line of Hirschi, with the clock ticking down to about 4:50 left in the half.
Yeah, this is a Tiger offense that has not produced as well on first down as they want to tonight.
Ball's on the far hash, twins on both sides. Will Bayouth out to the left. Donovan Smith will be flushed out, but no contain. He flips it forward to Drew Hocutt to the 15-yard line. He's ready for it there. Ball will be down at the 14. That's a 1st and 10 now for the Tigers from the 14-yard line. Clock ticking down to about 4:20.
Yeah, Hocutt just finding the hole in the defense there. That's a heady play by the senior receiver.
That's the time you see they spin together paying off. So hand off to Will Bayouth with trips on the far side. He is fighting and clawing as he always does. He'll be brought down by a Hirschi defender at the 10-yard line. A 4-yard pickup for William Bayouth, and that'll be 2nd and 6 now with the ball on that 10-yard line.
Tigers, there you go with a good job of getting positive yards on 1st down and trying to get into the end zone for the 4th time this quarter.
Tigers continuing to move quickly. Donovan Smith calls for the ball in the shotgun. Bayouth out to the flat again. Smith ducks under a defender and tries to get moving. He will be drugged down from behind at the 14-yard line. So Tigers lose the 4 that they gained on the Bayouth run. Be 3rd down and 10 from the 14-yard line.
Now the Tigers have some time to think over this one, or will take a little time to think over this one on 3rd and 10. Are in field goal range if they're not able to punch it in.
Aaron Brown checks in. We've got Klein Coker on the near side. Twin receivers on the far. Donovan Smith drops way back like there was a screen to set up, and now he'll go all the way back downfield, and he will throw it away wisely as he was under pressure all the way back at the 30. So 4th and 10 now coming up for the Tigers on the 19-yard line.
We've got a flag all the way back at the goal line, and I think you may find a defensive holding or defensive pass interference here based on where this play or where this flag was thrown. Now it's a little curious. We're actually getting an ineligible receiver downfield, so that's what we're going to get.
Yeah.
We're going to say, and that's what happens when you see screens take too long to develop, and not sure what happened to the Tiger screen there, but it was well read out by the Wichita Falls Hirschi defense. They were ready for it.
So ineligible receiver downfield, it is declined. So you'll have 4th down and 10 now from the 19-yard line. And the Tigers are going to opt to kick the field goal as Cage Jones and that unit comes out on the field as you're looking at a 36-yard field goal for Cage Jones. Everyone is lined up. I don't see a lot of wind on the flag at the moment. Everything hanging limp. 3:11 left here in the 1st half, and the ball is back. Cage Jones with the kick, and that one is good. So 3 more on the board for the Tigers. That'll make it 24-7 over the Hirschi Huskies. 3:06 left here in the 1st half. This is Frenship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
It's kind of
When you need to do some serious hauling, come on over to Lubbock Truck Sales, the truck and trailer specialists. Parts are never a problem. We can source any part for any need, serving the South Plains since 1990. Lubbock Truck Sales supports Texas Tech University and provides equipment transportation for the Red Raider football team and the Goin' Band from Raiderland. For sales, service, and support, come to Lubbock Truck Sales.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Your home for play-by-play. Double T 97.3.
Welcome back to Friendship Tiger football on Double T 97.3. Miscues again on the Gene Messer Toyota kickoff. Ooh. The ball is dropped by the return man. As he catches it, he hands it off to someone else who also drops it and is able to fall on it. A little bit of a scrum down there, and we see a flag come in a couple of spots on the field. There was a lot happening there on that kickoff choice.
Yeah, that was just a muffed kickoff return attempt first and foremost, and then he tries to get up and hand it off. Yeah, this Hirschi team really reeling at the moment. Needs to get right before this unravels even further. Their defense at least held Friendship to a field goal on the previous drive, but I'm not sure if these are two separate penalties. One went straight into the pile.
They're pretty far
of
apart.
People, and the other one was on the opposite side of the field. So thinking we're probably getting separate penalties here, and they're taking a long time to discuss. One likely to be an unsportsmanlike conduct. All right.
That's the handoff on the return.
So there you go. Both fouls will be enforced. So they called the unsportsmanlike on Frenship.
They did.
An illegal forward handoff. You don't see that much.
No.
But he did, I guess, was handing it off ahead of the runner and not behind himself. So that is what you get for that. Ultimately ends up at the 24-yard line.
So you have a 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line of the Huskies. 2:59 left here in the first half. Twin receivers both sides. Tigers defense making a couple of moves. It's a handoff to the running back, who is making people miss all over the place. A spin move and comes down just shy of the 45-yard line. I was thrown off there because it was not Devontae Graham. It was Fred Fleeks, the linebacker, who's now come in at running back, showing some shake and bake out there. And you'll have 1st and 10 now for the Huskies on the 43. And now they are trying to move with some tempo and moving quickly. Twin receivers on both sides, balls on the near hash. Fleeks will go out into the flat, but Randall's looking downfield. He goes for the deep ball. He's got a man down there again. He's well covered, but makes a nice catch over the shoulder, and Brooks Hokut pushes him out of bounds at around the 12-yard line.
Now this is the first real sign of life, besides the one big play they opened up earlier. It's the first sign of life that we've seen for the Hirschi Huskies tonight. There's a 45-yard gain on the play.
So after the 45-yard pass and catch to his man on the far sideline, handoff again to Fleeks, and he'll be ridden down by Logan Douglas, who jumps off that defensive end position and stops that running back in a hurry. 2:30 left on the clock as it ticks down. 2nd down and 10 still for the Hirschi Huskies.
Tiger defense has already given up more yards in this first half than they did the entire game, but, well, they only gave up 152 the entire game in week 1 against Amarillo High. So a little bit better of an offensive performance and some really good skill talent on the outside that we've seen so far for Hirschi. And Frenship's going to call a timeout to catch their breath a little bit and try to hold this Hirschi team to a field goal attempt.
Yeah, 124
yards
was the final number. You know, we have preliminary stats, and we marry those up a little later. 124 yards last week, but this Hirschi Husky team, one that gained 418 on the Tigers last year.
Yep.
So certainly seeing a different tale here this year against these Hirschi Huskies.
Yeah, this is a big play type of team, and it was last year when you faced them as well. Not a whole lot of gains in between. You see a lot of minimal type of plays, some 3-yard, some 4-yard gains, but this is a team that doesn't typically sustain drives and put them together down the field. It's one that likes to open it up and hit you with a 45-yard gain or hit you with a 62-yard gain. It's one that really can show off the wheels if they can get into some open field.
So everybody's lined up again here. Twin receivers both sides. One looks like a tight end for the Huskies at this point, and he will go to him down in the end zone, but it's a little bit outside of the intended receiver. I believe that is Peterson down there. Choice lined up in that slot. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 11 on the 13-yard line for the Huskies. Clock stops at 2:01 left in the first half.
You got to give Case and Brito a little bit of credit there, getting in the face of Randall again and forcing that throw probably a split second earlier than he was actually ready to throw it.
It was actually K.D. Dorsey that went down to the end zone. Peterson just checked into the game. Saw with the big touchdown catch earlier for the Huskies. So Tristan Randall lined up now with a running back to his left. Twin receivers on the near side, ball on the far hash, and now we are going to have a timeout called on the field. Let everybody talk about things and catch their breath. 2:01 left here in the first half.
Yeah, timeouts by the Hirschi Huskies once again. And that's their 2nd of the half. 2:01 left to play. This is a big moment, I think, for your Tiger defense. Hasn't faced a whole lot of adversity this season, has given up the one big play for a touchdown tonight. If you can hold them to 3-point attempts rather than getting 7 on this drive, I think it's a bit of a victory in its own right for this for this Frenship Tiger defense.
Things really fairly even right now, Choice, offensively, at least from the yardage standpoint. 50 or so net yards rushing, 140 or so passing yards for both teams as the Huskies make their way out of their timeout huddle and come back out to line up against this Tiger defense. 3rd down and 11 from the Tigers 13, 2:01 left in this first half. Tigers leading at 24-7. But yes, certainly a moment that this defense could stand up and make a difference here for their Tiger team. So Tristan Randall receives the ball in the shotgun. He's going to sling arm it over, try to get it over top of the defense, but he's way outside of his breaking receiver, Peterson, who was trying to head back inside. And now you're going to bring up 4th down.
Got a flag on the play
Huskies.
around the 10-yard line, about the 8-yard line actually. Came in from the side judge.
Oh, there it is. It was hidden by a player sitting on the numbers.
I believe this is going to go against Frenship, though I'm not sure for what. Actually, we're getting an explanation. We may get. What did we get? Holding.
Was that
defensive
holding, Shane?
Okay.
And now we have
Now
another flag.
Now a flag by the umpire that looks like T-Pain out there. He has got some dreads
He's got
down
some
to the middle of the
fantastic
back.
hair. He does.
Like it's covering up the U. I think we're getting a unsportsmanlike against Frenship after the play. Now we're going to go ahead and get a timeout by Frenship as well.
I'm not sure if he heard something there in the middle of the
I'm not
field
sure.
that he didn't like. He was placing
He was not
the ball.
around. Yeah, he's on the.
He was placing the ball, so you kind of had players from both teams milling around in his general vicinity. There was nothing happening physically between anyone.
We have not seen a signal, though, for the second foul.
Well, he's marking something off.
I think we're getting the initial foul marked off.
That ball will be down to the.
And then we're going to get half the distance to the goal. We never
Yes.
saw a signal. There it is.
Unsportsmanlike contact against Frenship. So you have the mark off for the initial penalty, which I don't believe was holding, Choice. I think it was possibly illegal hands, and then went half the distance to the goal. On an unsportsmanlike, someone may have said something down there that he did not want to hear. So now to reset things, 1:56 left in the first half. It's 1st down on the 2-yard line. So 1st and goal on the 2-yard line for the Hirschi Huskies. And Tiger defense needs to stand up really strong here. It's going to be a handoff.
It's like wildcat play.
Yeah, a little bit of a wildcat to Fred Fleeks, the linebacker / running back. Don't get really anywhere on that play. They may have given him a yard. And so now 2nd down and goal from a long one.
Yeah, that one's just a direct snap to the back. Fleeks in that situation, and I bet they're going to go back to it. I think that's what we see there. I don't even see Randall on the field at the moment. So Fleek's probably going to take another direct snap and just try to run behind that offensive line. Tigers are stacking the box full.
Fleeks is lined up as a quarterback, and he will try to go straight forward, and he will bulldoze his way into the line for a touchdown for the Hirschi Huskies. So after a slew of penalties and confusion with 1:18 left in the first half, the Huskies now at 13. Tigers lead them 24-13 with 1:18 left and the extra point incoming by Hirschi.
Tigers with just a self-inflicted mess there that puts them right outside the end zone and basically allows Hirschi to walk in from there. Hate to see that for Frenship. It's late in the half.
The kicker, Ritzy Vaez, with the extra point, and that is good for the Huskies. So with 1:18 left in the first half, Tigers lead at 24-14 over Hirschi. This is Frenship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
So
Join the Frenship Foundation for Leadership in its support of Frenship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Frenship ISD. Atlas Audiology, Daybreak Coffee, Wellington State Bank, PFG Advisors, United Supermarkets, and Frenship Alumni and Friends. The Frenship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Say goodbye to summer with huge savings at Gene Messer Toyota. Right now, drive the new 2019 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $299 a month. Or choose between 0% APR for 60 months or $3,000 retail customer cash on new 2019 Toyota Highlander gas models. Gene Messer, business done the right way. 19th and West Loop 289. GeneMesserToyota.com.
Double T 97.3, Lubbock Sports Station.
Welcome back to Friendship Tiger Football on Double T 97.3. Gene Messer Toyota kickoff incoming here from Ritzy Valles, the junior kicker for the Hirschi Huskies. He'll approach the ball and punt it deep. Number 5, Ty Glass back there. His momentum carries him back into the end zone, and this time he will take a knee, so there'll be a touchback incoming for the Tigers.
So the previous scoring drive for the Hirschi Huskies goes 8 plays, 76 yards, $148 off the clock, and Fred Fleeks gets into the end zone on the 1-yard touchdown run and ends up making it 24-14. Tigers still with a 10-point advantage, but definitely some momentum on Hirschi's side. We'll see if the Tigers can go quick here. 118 is not impossible. They've scored on several drives quickly tonight. It's going to need some big plays, have 2 timeouts to work with if they go for it.
Call a big play. One of those 83-yarders is more than welcome here.
That's a great idea.
Twin receivers on both sides. Going to be a delayed handoff to William Bayouth, who's brought down pretty quickly and will lose a yard on the play. Make that 2. Second down and 10 now incoming for the Tigers from their 23-yard line, and they are moving quickly as Drew Hokut makes his way back to the line.
Fleeks actually with a really nice play there to get Bayouth in the backfield. That's not an easy guy to tackle, and Fleeks gets up on the defender. We get a penalty flag on Hokut coming back to the line.
Hokut's running back to the line to line up, and now they're calling a false start. I don't know. There hadn't been a snap. The ball hadn't been called for.
I guess the center had probably put his hand on the ball already. The only thing I can think of, if he was putting his hand on the ball before you have everybody lined up.
Welcome to the road in Texas high school
I don't
football,
know.
my friends. Second and 17 from the 23-yard line. The clock ticks under a minute. Pass and catch to Cooper Scott at the numbers on the 20, and a big hit. Looks like it was led with the helmet, but no flag comes in on that one, and it'll bring up third down for the Tigers as the clock ticks down to 40 seconds.
That was a really long throw, too, from near hash to far sideline for Smith to make, and since the ball was in the air so long, it allowed time for the defender to close, and Scott never had a chance to make a shifty move.
Long look by the Tigers back to the sideline as they receive the play. 25 seconds ticking down, 3rd and 11 from their own 24-yard line. Husky defense calling for their crowd to get up. Nice Tiger crowd on the far side of the field in the stands over there. William Bayouth out to the right of Donovan Smith. Twin receivers, and they'll put a receiver in motion. That's Jordan Maiden, who gets the ball on the sweep, but he will be tripped up and brought down at the 23-yard line. So that's a gain of 0 for the Tigers. They will net nothing, but they ran all the time off the clock.
I think we're going to get a timeout before, so don't send it to break quite yet. I believe the Hirschi head coach came in and called timeout before the time expired. We'll see if they grant it or not. We are on the road, so I would expect it to be granted. Yeah. And I think, yeah, it looks like they're going to get it. So the Tigers are going to be forced to run a play here with about a second.
They put
or
2
2
seconds back on the clock.
So the smart thing to do here is to back up, hold on to the football, and take a knee. Take a long knee. But Hirschi's going to make them execute that.
The Tigers looks like they're going to opt to punt.
But
Choice Cates Jones is out there, unless he holds it and
he will
runs
probably
around
hold
and drops it.
and take a knee is my guess. Or we're going to get a timeout of the Tigers. So they make sure the execution is perfect. So this is pretty well just Hirschi making or trying to see if Frenship will make a mistake, an unforced mistake here. Because really, I think if the Tigers are smart, you're not going to punt this football away and give them any sort of chance to make a block or to make any sort of play on the football. So, yeah, likely you'll see Frenship just go out and take some sort of a knee here, even if it is Cage Jones, which Hokut is actually lined up deep in the backfield. Cage Jones is not out there anymore. I think Hokut's going to take the snap to take a knee.
That is, yes. Drew Hokut is
just to
in
be
the
short-handed
backfield
back there.
Yeah.
Get your best hands on the field back there to catch the punt.
So again, 2 seconds left here. Snap incoming. It did not go to Hocut. It was
Smith took it.
direct snap to Donovan Smith, who was in the formation, but time will expire in the first half. Tigers lead it 24-14 over the Hirschi Huskies here in Wichita Falls, Texas. We'll have the Friendship Foundation for Leadership halftime show coming up next. This is Friendship Tiger Football on Double T 97.3.
When you need to do some serious hauling, come on over to Lubbock Truck Sales, the truck and trailer specialists. Parts are never a problem. We can source any part for any need, serving the South Plains since 1990. Lubbock Truck Sales supports Texas Tech University and provides equipment transportation for the Red Raider football team and the Going Band from Raiderland. For sales, service, and support, come to Lubbock Truck Sales.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
We are the Friendship Varsity Cheerleaders, and you're watching Friendship TV.
When you need to do some serious hauling, come on over to Lubbock Truck Sales, the truck and trailer specialists. Parts are never a problem. We can source any part for any need, serving the South Plains since 1990. Lubbock Truck Sales supports Texas Tech University and provides equipment transportation for the Red Raider football team and the Going Band from Raiderland. For sales, service, and support, come to Lubbock Truck Sales.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Friendship Tigers, we're number one. 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 Friendship Tigers, we're number one.
We are the Friendship Varsity Cheerleaders, and we're proud to support Friendship ISD.
Seek perfection, capture excellence.
Home for play-by-play, Double T 97.3.
Welcome back to Friendship Tiger Football on Double T 97.3. I'm Keith Patrick, the voice of the Tigers, here for the Friendship Foundation for Leadership halftime show. I was able to catch up with Emily Solis, the Director of Communications and Community Engagement for Friendship ISD and the Director of the Friendship Foundation for Leadership. I asked Emily about some of the new things going on in Friendship ISD that are affecting athletics.
So there's a couple of really exciting things that we have launched this fall that relate to friendship sports and friendship athletic events. The first one is an all sports pass that's available to community members. For adults, it's $30, and for students, it's $15. And with your all sports pass, you gain access to every sporting event. That's middle school, sub-varsity, and varsity level games with the exception of varsity football, but that's for the whole 2019-2020 school year. Those passes are available in the box office at sporting events throughout the year. I believe you can also go by the field house during their business hours and get access to those passes. So it's exciting to be able to, with a single pass, get into every event, again, with the exception of varsity football.
Yeah, it makes it faster going through the gate, and then
Of course, you're also kind of an insider then. You have like a fancy card in your wallet to walk in the door at
Yes.
basically every sport and Friendship at any level.
Yes, it's fun to flash your pass at
Yeah,
the gate.
they look good.
They do.
They're good looking cards. So another exciting thing that's been going on, anybody that follows Friendship social media is seeing some things about Friendship.tv. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Friendship.tv is now available by going just to Friendship.tv. It's also available through Friendship.net under our community tab, but it's a place where we host all of our video content starting this fall, and that's all of our full-length sporting events for every varsity level game. But it doesn't just stop at sports. We also have Inside Friendship features where you get an inside look at a classroom and some different departments and programs within the district through that channel as well. We also will have videos made available as we have different commencement events, graduations, that sort of thing. It's a place where you can find content around events throughout the school year, so Friendship Foundation events. We will host it all through this single platform that hosts all of our video, Friendship.tv.
So with Friendship now surpassing 10,000 students in enrollment, Friendship school board meetings are streamed as well, so you can access those through Friendship.tv. And as Emily said, go to the athletics tab there, and basically every home district game for every team sport, and then some away games, all of the football away games, and then hopefully playoff games, and then boys and girls basketball away games can be found there. But you'll find softball, volleyball, baseball when those times come. It's really neat, and there's some other things there too, like Palm and some other stories that have been done. Our wrestling program at Friendship started up last year. You can see that there as well. So a really neat undertaking. Got to give a shout out to our partner Raymar Communications for jumping in there. Our radio broadcast is married up there with the video for those sports that have that radio broadcast. And big shout out to Ray Rush and his team at Friendship High School Media. These are students that are making this happen along with Ray, their teacher. They're shooting the video and working on some of the editing, and it's a really neat experience for Friendship kids, isn't it?
It is. It's really cool. It was neat to watch the first video that got posted this past Saturday. Of course, I was at the football game on Friday night, but we got to all as a family watch it again on Saturday. And of course, I pointed out to all of my family members that these were students that were behind the cameras. And just the quality of that video is really exceptional, but neat that those kids are getting that opportunity to be behind the cameras and then be a part of that production as well.
You have to appreciate a place like Friendship ISD, hearing their community and knowing that there are family members that live all over the state, all over the country that want to get to see kids play. So then putting in the resources and the time and the processes to then bring that kind of content to the internet so that folks can watch, their loved ones play sports and watch Friendship compete. I think it really just raises the bar for what high schools can do, showing off their student talent and letting them compete and be seen by their family at a distance. I got an email this week from one of our teachers at Friendship whose husband is a coach and said, I got family in New Mexico, I've got family in Montana, and now they can see the product of what Friendship's doing from a distance because they don't get to see it very often, just listen on the radio. So they're very excited about it.
Absolutely. And one more quick mention about Friendship TV and the school board meetings that are now made available. You can actually go on and watch the whole school board meeting, but you can also click through and watch separate sections that will be hyperlinked, so you can jump down to student recognitions, which is a really cool part of our school board meetings. Each month we do have student and staff recognitions for those who are exceptional and doing things above and beyond what's called upon them. And it's just cool in that section to be able to go watch specifically those recognitions for some that may live out of town or just never have an opportunity to come to a school board meeting.
Very cool. Well, Emily, as I said when I introed you, your title is the Director of Communications and Community Engagement, but you have another title. You're the Director of the Friendship Foundation for Leadership also, working with that volunteer board of directors and making those events happen. What does the foundation have going on? I know it's prize patrol time, so what does that look like, and what else do you guys have happening throughout the year?
We are excited to be in the final planning phase of the Friendship Foundation Prize Patrol for the 2019-2020 school year. This is an event that we go out to campuses of winners of our teacher grants. So we are giving away $59,000 in teacher grants this year, which I believe is a record number, a record amount of money given back to the classrooms. And these go out to teachers who have applied for the grant, and they are showing signs of innovation in their classroom. So we have a scoring committee that goes through and scores those applications, but they have to be showing something innovative in their classroom. So it's exciting. We're going to go out next week on Wednesday and Thursday, the 11th and 12th, and surprise these teachers with their checks. And it's just a fun time to really celebrate the successes in the classroom and celebrate those teachers who are being innovative.
So you roll on the campus Ed McMahon style, like Publishers Clearinghouse, with balloons and big checks and take some pictures.
Exactly. We're going to get our drum line from the high school
to come
out. We also have our cheer and pom squads coming out, and we are going to make a big splash at every campus. Make some noise and get people excited about these teacher grant winners.
Very cool. Well, you definitely have a couple of events throughout the year. I know the gala is in February, and that funds those teacher grants. And then there's a golf tournament in May. Is that right? That funds student scholarships also?
That's right. So this coming spring, February 1st of 2020, we will host our gala event. It's a casino night theme. It's a really fun night to get out and have some fun. We'll have a silent auction, a live auction, and just an opportunity for the community to come together and support the teacher grants. And then in the spring as well, on May 1st of 2020, we will be hosting the Drive for Leaders golf tournament, which funds our student scholarship program. So this fall, we'll have students start that application process. We raise the money in the spring, and then we award those in May of next year. The students would find out if they're a scholarship winner.
Well, Friendship's certainly lucky to have you, and certainly blessed to have the Friendship Foundation for Leadership for all these years. I think surpassing $1 million this year in money that's been given back to Friendship ISD through teacher grants, student grants, and other programs. Just an amazing way to support Friendship ISD. Thanks for joining us, Emily. Thanks so much for all you do.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, that's Emily Solis, Director of Communications and Community Engagement for Friendship ISD and the Director of the Friendship Foundation for Leadership. We'll be right back to the Friendship Foundation for Leadership halftime show after these words from our sponsors. This is Friendship Tiger Football on Double T 97.3.
Say goodbye to summer with huge savings at Gene Messer Toyota. Right now, drive the new 2019 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $299 a month. Or choose between 0% APR for 60 months or $3,000 retail customer cash on new 2019 Toyota Highlander gas models. Gene Messer, business done the right way. 19th and West Loop 289. GeneMesserToyota.com.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation!
We are the Friendship Varsity Cheerleaders, and you're watching Friendship TV.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Friendship Tigers, we're number one. 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 Friendship Tigers, we're number one.
We are the Friendship Varsity Cheerleaders, and we're proud to support Friendship ISD.
Seek perfection, capture excellence.
When you need to do some serious hauling, Come on over to Lubbock Truck Sales, the truck and trailer specialists. Parts are never a problem. We can source any part for any need, serving the South Plains since 1990. Lubbock Truck Sales supports Texas Tech University and provides equipment transportation for the Red Raider football team and the Goin' Band from Raiderland. For sales, service, and support, come to Lubbock Truck Sales.
Double T 97.3, Lubbock Sports Station.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, here at the home of Joe Golding Field in Wichita Falls, Texas. Thanks for making us part of your Friday evening with Keith Patrick. I'm Choice Woodman. You're listening to Friendship Tigers football on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. The Friendship Tigers currently ahead at the half, 24-14, as we sit here in the Friendship Foundation for Leadership halftime show. Let's get you to some of the stats so far for this ball game. Friendship Tigers, as I mentioned, leading at 24-14 over the Wichita Falls Hirschi Huskies. Friendship has done it both through the air and on the ground, but mostly through the air so far in this football game. Tigers with a grand total 144 yards, passing 14 of 23 so far is Donovan Smith. Has the big one, a 54-yard touchdown pass to Drew Hokut. Hokut has caught 3 catches for 68 yards so far in the ball game. Some other players with some good games. Jordan Maiden with 5 catches for 38 yards. Cooper Scott's got a couple of catches for a total of 6 yards this evening. Will Bayouth leading the way on the ground. He's got 13 carries for 49 yards, including a touchdown so far this evening. So we'll need about the same production to get across the century mark in the second half if he wants to get to that 100-yard mark. For the defensive side of the football for Friendship, you have a total of 192 yards given up, which is more than they gave up last week in the entire game, 124 yards a week ago. And, of course, the 0 on the scoreboard last week, not equivalent to what they've given up tonight. 14 points so far for this explosive offense for Hirschi. And by explosive, I'm talking about individuals. They can explode in one play. Amarion Peterson has shown us that. He's caught 3 balls for 128 yards. He has been the biggest producer of offense, as Tristan Randall has struggled not throwing the football to Amarion Peterson. When he's thrown it to him, he's been good. When he hasn't been good. 4 of 14 overall tonight for 135 yards. They have also rushed for 17 carries for 57 yards, they being, of course, the Hirschi Huskies. So those are your halftime stats. As far as individuals go, Friendship has struggled a bit in the third down category tonight. 3 of 7, that's not terrible, 43%, but they've also given up 3 of 7 to Wichita Falls Hirschi. A big key, though, 0 of 2 on 4th down attempts for Friendship so far in this game, and both teams with 7 penalties. Tigers 7 for 57 yards, Wichita Falls Hirschi, 7 for 73 yards thus far this evening. Tigers struggling on the ground tonight, only 2.72 yards per carry. Definitely going to try to get that number elevated in the second half. Stick around. We'll be back to give you some scores around District 2-6A in just a few moments, and be back with the second half kickoff as well. Once again, Friendship leads it over Wichita Falls Hirschi at the half here in Wichita Falls. 24-14 is our halftime score. You're listening to Friendship Tigers football right here on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3.
Say goodbye to summer with huge savings at Gene Messer Toyota. Right now, drive the new 2019 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $299 a month. Or choose between 0% APR for 60 months or $3,000 retail customer cash on new 2019 Toyota Highlander gas models. Gene Messer, business done the right way. 19th and West Loop 289. GeneMesserToyota.com.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership in its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Atlas Audiology, Daybreak Coffee, Wellington State Bank, PFG Advisors, United Supermarkets, and Friendship Alumni and Friends. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation! Friendship Nation!
We are the Friendship Varsity Cheerleaders, and we're proud to support Friendship ISD.
Seek perfection, capture excellence.
When you need to do some serious hauling, come on over to Lubbock Truck Sales, the truck and trailer specialists. Parts are never a problem. We can source any part for any need, serving the South Plains since 1990. Lubbock Truck Sales supports Texas Tech University and provides equipment transportation for the Red Raider football team and the Goin' Band from Raiderland. For sales, service, and support, come to Lubbock Truck Sales.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Up right now here at Memorial Stadium, Joe Golding Field, getting ready to run out. A little bit of an unusual halftime for us. Appreciate Emily Solis joining us for the interview of the halftime show. They've played with the clock a little bit here. I'm not sure exactly when we're going to go, but there's 12 minutes on the clock and it's not running, but nobody's quite ready to get in the tunnels. So
Feels kind of like Federation football in New Mexico. They're warming up the players out there in the end zone. That's a requirement when you go to New Mexico. You have to come back out and warm up after halftime. But
well, Choice, while I changed you to the desk and went out and looked at some things in the hallway, I was looking at scores, and it's close all across our area. Tell us about what's going on.
it really is. Well, first there were two scores last night from our District 2-6A. Permian, oh, how the mighty fall last night to El Paso Franklin. Of course, Franklin's been one of the better teams out in El Paso the last few years. They take down the Permian Panthers in Odessa, 49-28 last night. The Midland Lee Rebels winners. They're state ranked now, number 25 in the state. They take down Abilene High last night, 35-21. That's the same Abilene High team that Permian played last week. The Friendship Tigers, of course, leading here at 24-14 at the half. Then you've got the Odessa Permian Bronchos leading Jackson, Mississippi, 30-0 at the half. 30-0.
30-0. Coming all the way from Mississippi to get beat by Odessa High.
Like, do these teams just think, I want to go play at Ratliff Stadium? Like, what's the Friday Night Lights? Is that the
I guess
intrigue
so.
of
You know,
it?
you mentioned Ratliff, and I look across the way here as the Tigers make their way on the field. There's a little bit of that Ratliff curve in the stands across the way. Kind of reminiscent. Definitely has that West Texas feel, even though we're over here in Wichita Falls.
Couple more scores, not quite at the half yet. El Paso Pebble Hills, a fairly young school, less than 10 years old, leading Midland High 28-21 as that one's about a minute and a half from halftime. And then what they call Hell Week up there. Tascosa and Amarillo High squaring off. 21-14, the Rebels leading the Sandies only by a touchdown. You can throw the records out when those two meet up. But, well, the records are 1-0 and 0-1. We saw that same Sandy team. We will see the Rebels in the last game of the season this year, but it's only a touchdown game at the half.
Ah, the last game of the district season, my friend, in a Thursday night game.
It's still the season.
The regular season.
Regular season.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully
Lots of faith.
Get some playoff action this year.
Absolutely. Well, the Tigers have made their way out on the field. Ty Glass back for the Tigers to return this Gene Messer Toyota kickoff, the opening kickoff of the second half. Once again, Tigers waiting for the Huskies to make their way out as they break their huddle on the sideline.
No offense to Ty Glass, but he's only our second favorite Ty. Shout out Ty King.
Love Ty King, former field analyst
Now,
for Friendship Tiger Football. We miss you, buddy. We know you're having a good time wherever you are.
No offense to Ty King either. Ty Glass, you do have your opportunity to move into that number 1 spot with some nice play this year.
Oh, man.
Just coming in hot.
all those years of service by Ty.
Well, I do like touchdowns.
Just
so.
one good return, huh? That's all it's going to take.
Ty King's never scored a touchdown for me.
That's right. Ritzy Valles, the junior kicker for the Hirschi Huskies, lines up, and he will boot this one deep. It brings Glass out to almost the 10-yard line where he makes the catch, and he's running with a head of steam. He's looking for a seam, and he's making a man miss, going all the way through, splits a couple of defenders, and he'll be brought down at the 33-yard line where the Tigers will start with 11:52 left in this third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 33.
A nice little return to get things started off, and you got to feel like, well, it was Hirschi that closed out the half with momentum. The Tigers had a chance to go up 28-7, have to settle for a field goal, make it 24-7, and then Hirschi puts together by far their best drive of the night to score right before, well, with about a minute left in the half, so it cuts it to 24-14 instead of a bigger lead for Friendship.
So ball on the far hash, Donovan Smith, a fake handoff, and he'll keep it himself, design quarterback keeper, and he'll slide down at the 40-yard line, a pickup of 7 for Smith. He had trips on the near side, but opted to keep it himself and pick up the yardage there. So that brings up 2nd down and 7 for the Tigers from, I think it's 2nd and 3, scoreboard way off. So a fake handoff to William Bayouth, who picks up the block. Now Smith feels the pressure, and he's going again. Got a ton of green in front of him. He makes a man miss as he goes by, picks up a nice block that'll spring him for 5 more yards. He'll be pushed out on the Husky side of the 50 at about the 44-yard line.
Cooper Scott was the one that threw that fantastic block, and now some extracurricular after the play for the Huskies, but they're going to have to get back on defense because Friendship's going quick once again.
Yes, they are. Twin receivers on both sides. Will Bayouth split out and now moving in motion to the flat. It'll be to Drew Hocutt, trying to come through with the little bubble screen as he slants across, but it's behind him. He drops it and then hops on it just to make sure that it does go down as an incomplete pass. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the Huskies' 44.
Screens are just all about timing, and they had 3 defenders in the face of Donovan Smith, which is expected for a screen, but made him change his arm angle and threw it a little bit behind Hocutt, which unfortunate because Hocutt had a lot of room to work with.
So man in motion, it's Jordan Maiden. He'll hand off to William Bayouth, who will run his way through the line and then be tripped up and fall far forward, as William Bayouth often does. He'll end up at the 39-yard line, a pickup of 5 for William Bayouth.
Bayouth, yeah, he always falls forward, and you love the way he's turned into such a north to south runner.
Trips on the far side, ball on the far hash. Lone receiver on the near side is Klein Coker. You're going to have a free play here with offsides, and he's got a catch. Oh, he's got Klein Coker down the sideline. Little bit of a bobble as he goes out of bounds, not able to quite haul it in. And that'll be an incomplete pass, now bringing up 4th down and 4
Keith,
for the Tigers. I thought we had the offsides.
Should have been a free play. The Tigers thought it was a free play because it sure looked like the nose tackle for Wichita Falls Hirschi. Hernandez was in the neutral zone, but official says he was not. He definitely jumped. I guess the official says he was far enough back.
Yeah, D'Artagnan Hernandez looked like he had gotten his way into the neutral zone, but Tigers will go for it here. 4th and 4. Going to be out to Jordan Maiden, who makes the catch and battles his way. The ball will be fumbled forward but go out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. They'll call Hernandez down. We're waiting for a signal here.
We did get the first down.
So the Tigers do have the first down. They'll convert the 4th down, and they have the Tigers down at the 33-yard line.
I believe the rule is you cannot fumble forward towards a first down.
Right.
So they went back to where he fumbled the football initially, which was a yard beyond the first down marker.
Although he had the yardage physically, yes, and then fumbled beyond that,
yeah,
further
so he
down
would
the field.
Had they counted the fumble forward and where the ball went out of bounds, it would have ended up being about a 3 or 4 more yards.
Yeah. So the ball's on the near hash. Twin receivers both sides. William Bayou split out to Donovan Smith's right. Smith calls for the ball. Plenty of time, as he often has, and it's a delayed handoff to Bayou, who has a lot of room to run. He bounces outside, a little bit of a stiff arm, flag does come into the middle of the pile. Bay Youth with a first down there, depending on what this penalty ends up being.
It's going to be a holding, according to the umpire, on, I believe, I may get Cooper Scott on that, not certain on what the number is, but it's going to be on one of the Friendship Tiger receivers. And this is kind of the variance you get from one crew to another or one chapter to another. We're here in Wichita Falls. You're getting a lot more picky holding penalties than we saw a week ago, where that one was extremely questionable of calling that a holding.
Easy to get a little bit spoiled. You had probably the best crew in District 2 6A that you see often last week in Peoples Bank Stadium, and now you come here, an unknown crew. Things a little bit different. As you say, it's certainly different on the road. Be first down and 20 for the Tigers, 43-yard line, clock ticking down to 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Plenty of time for Donovan Smith as he's going to go deep downfield. He's got a man down there. Did they call it a catch? It looked like he might have trapped it. I think that's Cooper Scott. That is not Cooper Scott. Check that. That's Connor Little, who goes way down to within the 10, inside the 10-yard line to make a big catch for the Tigers.
Diving grab by Little, has to come back to the football that was slightly underthrown. It does a great adjustment.
So first and 10 from the 8-yard line, and going to be a handoff once again. No, that's Donovan Smith who keeps it and runs his way around, carrying it like a running back, gets inside the 5-yard line on that first and goal from the 8. Now it's second down, and the ball's on the 1-yard line for the Tigers. Second and goal there from the 1.
Likely to see what we've seen a lot so far this year. They're going to bring in an extra offensive lineman for a jumbo package type of situation, likely get it into the belly of Will Bay Youth to just muscle it into the end zone from a little more than a yard out.
So that's Kalani Sapa who checks in there in the offensive line for the Tigers. Donovan Smith calls for it, and you're going to have a false start penalty here on the Tigers. So second and goal from the 1-yard line, and now they're going to be backed up as due to the offensive miscue.
Those are the type of penalties that can absolutely be killers to your team. Second and goal from the 1, and second and goal from the 6 are massively different. Doesn't mean you can't convert, but it sure feels a lot more comfortable from the 1. Now you're going to have to open up the playbook a little bit more.
Tigers lead at 24-14 over the Huskies. Now second and goal from the 6-yard line, as Troy said. Twin receivers both sides. Donovan Smith, he rolls the pocket out to the left, and he's got a man in the end zone. I believe it's Little again, potentially Cooper Scott. Hard to see that 6 and 8 from a distance.
That one's Scott.
That one is Cooper Scott. Little bit of mustard when he comes up after the tackle just outside the end zone. So ball right back down to the 1. Third and goal from the 1-yard line. Clock ticking down to about 8:30 left.
Yeah, so back to the 1, but that was really close to being a touchdown. They say he didn't possess the ball until he came back out of the end zone, though.
So Donovan Smith calls for it, puts it in the belly of Bay Youth, who gets the handoff, but he'll be caught in the backfield. He'll lose 2 yards on the play, so now a fourth down coming up for the Tigers with about 3 yards to go.
Now decision time for Coach Northcutt and company, and most of the time, at least his tendencies show, they'll go for it inside the 5-yard line. Yeah, you can pick up the 3 points, but you can, if you don't happen to get into the end zone, you make it really tough for the other offense to go a good 97 yards.
Ty Glass will come out of the game here in favor of Jordan Maiden. You see Drew Hocutt, Cooper Scott, Klein Coker, the playmakers all in there. William Bay Youth, plenty to choose from on this Tiger offense, who has a lot of great talent. Now you'll have a timeout called on the field, and everybody's going to talk about it with 7:49 left in the third quarter.
I believe this is Hirschi that calls this timeout. Not 100% certain on this. No, this is, we don't get a timeout. This is an official timeout where they're trying to figure something out. I think the play clock was not running.
I see.
I think that might have been the issue, but.
So Tigers go to the sideline thinking there was a timeout and have to come right back out. So the offense is out. Same one I just called out to you. Twin receivers on both sides. Donovan Smith in the shotgun. Will Bay Youth to his left. Smith calls for the ball. Plenty of room, plenty of time, and he's going to have Drew Hocutt out at the edge of the end zone. Hocutt tries to drag the toe, but the side judge says he was out of bounds. So Tigers, for the third time tonight, will turn it over on downs. This time, though, on the Huskies' 3-yard line.
That's one I'd love to see slow motion replay on. And I say slow motion replay because it was not an easy call for the official that's on top of it. As bang as it gets as far as Hocutt dragging that toe and the other foot stepping out of bounds. Remember in high school you only have to get 1 foot down, and it sure looks like Hocutt drug it, but It matters where that first foot was. Now it does put your defense in good situation, though. They force Hirschi to have to go 97 yards.
So now, as we saw earlier in the goal line plays, Fred Fleek's standing in the quarterback position, kind of a wildcat going on here, as the Huskies are standing in their own end zone, and now we will have
a false start.
A false start on the Huskies, so they'll go half the distance to the goal, 1.5 yards back. So now 1st and 10 for them from a long one, as their quarterback, Fred Fleek's running back playing quarterback, is standing in his own end zone. He'll take the direct snap and just plow ahead forward as best he can. He's met by 3 Tigers who push him backwards. He'll stop with forward progress and not pick up more than 1 yard. Yeah, you mentioned that choice as in high school, dragging 1 foot, very similar to college, and learned this week, Texas, the only state that's running NCAA rules.
Yeah, I didn't realize that before you pointed that out to me before the game. Basically, Texas runs NCAA football rules. They just take the playbook that's already there and then make a few tweaks, not many.
Have some exceptions that they handle
obviously there's
annually.
Replay rules and other things in NCAA that you don't have at the high school level, so they adjust stuff for that. But I learned this also by the targeting foul we saw last week against Amarillo High. Fortunately, they've changed that rule to where it's got to be severe. There's 2 levels of targeting. One is ejectable, one is not. That did not used to be that way, but that's new for 2019.
Well, a neat thing about that, stoppage in play here for an injury to a Hirschi Husky on the field. He looks okay, just a little ankle issue, but that's a flagrant or a non-flagrant in that targeting situation.
Yep.
2 non-flagrants will result in an ejection, but you don't have replay, as you mentioned, so there's a little leeway there, and gives officials a little bit of a decision there that they can make a different decision, and rather than being chained into an ejection, which is a big deal for a high school football player.
Absolutely, especially when you look at a team like Hirschi that has
playing both sides,
22 guys, less than guys to go across the board. It really does matter, especially for depth. I mean, think about a 6-man game. If you call someone for targeting and eject them, what do you do from there?
Hirschi player makes his way off under his own power as everything starts to reset here. His replacement comes in. And interesting thing about that, the coaches around Texas brought that to the officials and asked them to think about that as a change, and that's an exception they made to that NCAA rule book. So everyone's reset here. Huskies 2nd and 11 from their own, it says 4-yard line. I think it's a little bit shorter than that, probably more like the 2-yard line.
Now we're going to get another
I think you might have another.
They get another timeout called. I'm not sure where the play clock was on that.
So prior to the snap, you have a timeout by Hirschi. 7:17 left in the 3rd quarter. Tigers lead at 24-14 over the Huskies, and it sits at 2nd and 11. It says ball on the 4 on the scoreboard. I think that's more like ball on the 2-yard line.
No, it's somewhere between the 2 and the 3 at the moment.
Yeah.
You know something, we talk about officials, they have been very prevalent in this game. Total 15 penalties, flags thrown, or at least accepted penalties so far tonight. 72 yards penalized against Frenship, 75 against Wichita Falls Hirschi. And, I mean, it's not just as crisp and clean of a game as we saw a week ago.
No, definitely not. And certainly, as we kind of knew and as Coach Northcutt had told us from what they had seen, Hirschi, a team, as we've said, trying to find their identity a little bit. And you come in, you're going to have some difficulty lining up. You're going to have some of those penalties. Some things that the Tigers have certainly some miscues that they have capitalized on throughout the game as well. All right, everybody back out on the field, taking their positions here. Fleek calls for it, and he's going to try to roll it out to his right. Dangerous play coming out of the end zone. He'll pick up maybe another yard, somewhere around 3rd down and 10 incoming, as he rolls the pocket out right, but it did not roll quickly, and he had to fall forward to get out of the end zone.
I think you're just seeing the conservativeness from Wichita Falls Hirschi, which is a little surprising here that they're being this conservative, but it also shows, I think, how much faith they have in their quarterback to not get sacked in this situation or to make a good decision in this situation.
Well, once again, Fred Fleeks, the running back linebacker, is in at quarterback, and now he's going to have a handoff, somewhat of a sweep. They use some speed to get around the outside, and he's got room to work. He's got open field in front of him. He's heading down the sideline, and he'll be knocked out of bounds by Tiger defenders at the Hirschi 42-yard line. So a pickup of close to 40 yards on that sweep run around on third down by the Huskies. I believe that might have been Peterson again using his speed to their advantage. Oh, it's Savante Vaughn, the starting running back. Interesting choices. You're talking about quarterbacks. You have a linebacker running back in right now, and you got a guy whose arm you've seen work for you on the sideline.
Yep, speed kills right there. Speed and more speed for this Wichita Falls Hirschi team. They bunch everybody up, but just show that they can get the corner on the edge.
So now it's a direct snap to Peterson.
Get an illegal shift before the play happens, so they blow it dead as Vaughn got going, but you had someone moving towards the line of scrimmage at the play or before the play.
That's a six-man move. Speaking of six-man, that's
arena football.
And arena football, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So there's another pre-snap penalty for Hirschi, and yeah, I think Hirschi's just trying to play the hot hand, is what it appears like. They found something in this Wildcat formation that they like, and until Frenship consistently stops it, I think you're going to see them continue to go to it.
If you have anything, you have some athleticism.
Yep.
So Amarian Peterson is definitely showing that. Takes the direct snap. He'll be brought down by Jake Gilbert almost immediately with an assist there by Kason Brito. So still behind that original line of scrimmage. Now second down and 14 from the 37-yard line for the Huskies.
Yeah, Gilbert just right in the right place where he's supposed to be and making a good form tackle. It's as simple as that. Gilbert is one of the more fundamentally sound players you're going to find on this football team.
That defense full of those fundamentally sound players. So now Randall's back in at quarterback. He calls for the ball. He'll try to run it forward as the pocket collapses, and he's gang tackled by the line and linebackers of the Tigers. So he'll lose another yard, and you're back to third down and about 15 with the ball on the 39-yard line.
Yeah, that one was a bit of a head-scratching play. You basically run the Wildcat once again when the quarterback's in, but you'll see a bit of a different set now. 4 wide and 1 back in the backfield.
So trips on the near side as the Huskies have a long look at the sideline looking for a play. Single receiver to the far side for Hirschi. That's Desmond Sanders, and as you said, 1 back, and it's Savante Vaughn in the backfield. He'll go out into the flat, but Randall's looking downfield. He's got a man again all by himself. He catches it with his fingertips, and he hauls it in. He's going to take it all the way to the house. Huge touchdown pass and catch by Tristan Randall to Sanders, as I mentioned, up there by himself as the lone receiver, and that'll bring the Huskies within 4 of the Tigers with 5:06 left in the third quarter.
Coach Roboto gambles a little bit, bringing pressure and leaving his corner out in one-on-one coverage, and what we've seen all night, a lot of speed on the outside. The defender just runs a straight fly route to get behind the defense.
And we've got a 2-point conversion incoming here from, I don't even know how to describe what just happened. 2-point conversion incoming from Randall. It does fail. Incomplete pass as the entire line was lined up on the numbers, and Randall's by himself with a center. So with 5:06 left in the third quarter, it's Huskies 20, Tigers 24. This is Friendship Tiger Football on Double T 97.3.
Say goodbye to summer with huge savings at Gene Messer Toyota. Right now, drive the new 2019 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $299 a month. Or choose between 0% APR for 60 months or $3,000 retail customer cash on new 2019 Toyota Highlander gas models. Gene Messer, business done the right way. 19th and West Loop 289. GeneMesserToyota.com.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership in its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Atlas Audiology, Daybreak Coffee, Wellington State Bank, PFG Advisors, United Supermarkets, and Friendship Alumni and Friends. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Gets away. Here comes Gallo, and he scores the winning
Lubbock's
run.
home for the Texas Rangers is Double T 97.3. KTTU HD1 New Deal Lubbock.
Welcome back to Friendship Tigers football in Wichita Falls, Texas. Gene Messer Toyota kickoff has just now been booted by Ritzy Valles, the number 20, the junior kicker. It's taken by Ty Glass, and he's coming out with a head of steam from the goal line. He'll be brought down at the 24-yard line of the Huskies, where the Tigers will start with a 1st and 10 after the big scoring touchdown by the Huskies.
First score of the second half does belong to those Hirschi Huskies, and they go a 97-yard drive. 7 plays, 97 yards, 5:06 off the clock, and it closes out in the 63-yard touchdown pass from Tristan Randall to Desmond Sanders. 24-20 our score after the failed 2-point conversion. Tigers trying to get the momentum back. They led it in this game 24-7. Now 13 straight unanswered points for Hirschi. 4
receivers for the Tigers. A handoff to Will Bayouth right up the gut. He'll pick up 3 yards right off the bat with about 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
And Bayouth has struggled since early in the game. Early on, he was finding some big holes, but he's struggling to get through and get past those shoestring tackles as of late.
Bayouth averaged 8.6 yards per carry last week, only 4.3 this week. So Donovan Smith from the shotgun, he's got a little bit of time, and he hits Drew Hocutt at the numbers on the near side. That'll be a first down for the Tigers. About a 15-yard pickup, I think 12 officially, and that'll have first down now from the 41 with 4:30 left here in the third quarter as the Tigers look back for their play as they get set.
Great concentration by Smith to stand in and take some pressure. I actually think he got hit in the face by one of the defenders, which could have been a roughing the passer, but still stood in and threw a strike.
1st and 10 for the 41. Smith taking his time back there, and you have what has to be pass interference as the defender kept Jordan Maiden from catching a ball at the Huskies' 45-yard line, but there's no penalty. Incomplete pass there, so now that'll bring up 2nd and 10 back on the Tigers' 41.
Hey, did you see the Saints playoff game this past year? This is not a joke. That's what I would equate that to. They said it was over his head. Maiden never had a chance to get to the football because he was clotheslined well before he could get to where the ball was going to.
So trips on the far side, balls on the near hash for Donovan Smith. Once again, the shotgun. You have an offsides play here. He has a screen set up. He gets it to Bayouth, but it was more of a safety play. Bayouth brought down at the 40-yard line. Tigers may get back to the original line of scrimmage or potentially lose a yard.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a offsides here, so it was a free play for Friendship. That's what they're going to call. So Tigers, instead of 2nd and 10 or 3rd and 10, we'll get a 2nd and 5 here. Now, going back to that pass interference, one of the worst I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah.
Maiden was just completely clotheslined. Never had a chance to get to the football. Official initially went to grab his flag and then changed his mind on it.
Standing on the near sideline when that happened, I would imagine he'd have had a little bit more of an earful on the other side of the field opposite us where there's a lot more Friendship blue.
It's a road football game, though.
That's right. So twin receivers on both sides. Donovan Smith in the shotgun, handoff to Will Bayouth, and he fights his way through the line and into the secondary. He'll be drugged down at the Hirschi 43, 44-yard line. So a nice pickup there by Will Bayouth and a tough, hard-nosed run. That's what we're used to seeing from him.
Really nice 10-yard gain for Will Bayouth. He's gone 17 carries for 66 yards tonight. Tigers have not been able to run the football as well as they did a week ago, but it's understandable. This is a better defensive front that Hirschi has. They've been able to break out the passing game at a pretty good clip tonight. 18 for 31 is Smith for 203 yards and a touchdown.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 44-yard line. Twins on both sides, as we've become accustomed to seeing often. Lots of time for Donovan Smith. Now he'll feel pressure and he'll be sacked back at the 45-yard line of the Tigers. My goodness, Donovan Smith looked like he had all the time in the world, and then out of nowhere comes a Hirschi defender to drag him down.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice play. A swim move up the middle from Hirschi. Tackles the ever-elusive Smith and sets Tigers up in a 2nd and really long back into their own territory.
That might have been the defensive tackle, Chris Murray again, or Fred Fleeks coming out of that middle linebacker position. So Smith back in the shotgun, 2nd and 10 from the 46 of his own side of the 50. Drew Hocutt will catch it at the opposite 45-yard line and go out of bounds at the 43-yard line of Hirschi. So Tigers get back to basically the original line of scrimmage, and they'll take over with a third down there.
Got all the sack yardage back and then an extra yard after that. And I think we're going to get a timeout for Frenship. We will. But that was a really nice play by Smith. One thing that is so impressive about Smith, if you haven't had a chance to watch him play yet, he may be more accurate when he's on the run and outside of the pocket than he is even standing within the pocket. Sometimes we see him get a little too strong-armed inside the pocket, but once he exits that pocket, he becomes dangerous, especially with a receiver that he's synced up with like Drew Hoka.
Well, you mentioned having a chance to watch Donovan Smith play and these Tigers' choice. As we talked about with Emily Solis in the Friendship Foundation for Leadership halftime show, there's an opportunity to watch Friendship athletic events from a distance. By noon the following day of a sporting event, you can watch Friendship Tigers football, volleyball, basketball, soccer, all of them as they come along. Great job out there by Friendship High School Media, Mr. Ray Rush and his students. They do a fantastic job. Our radio broadcast is married in with that. Thank you to Raymar Communications, our great partner in bringing you Friendship Tiger Athletics. So check out friendship.tv, and that game will be up by noon tomorrow. That's the goal, at least. Away games are tough. Long drive home, but lots of work to do to get those things up. But glad to do it for you folks out there that love Friendship Tiger football. Donovan Smith back in the shotgun, stacked receivers, two on both sides. William Bayouth to his right. 3:01 left here in the third quarter. Tigers lead at 24-20. It's third down and 9 from the Hirschi 43. Smith calls for it. He fakes the handoff to Aaron Brown, and he goes to Drew Hocutt in the middle with that screen. Hocutt will be drugged down at the 38-yard line, so short, 4 yards short of the first down. And Tigers, once again, with that decision to make, fourth down and 4 from their 38.
Friendship needs some momentum. I think you're going to see them go for it. On the previous drive where they got down to the 3, they did convert their first fourth down of the game.
Trips on the far side, balls on the near hash. Klein Coker alone here on this near side. Now everybody pops up to look around as we're looking for plays, looking back to the yellow shirts of the Tigers as they send plays in for this coaching staff. Tigers with a pretty consistent system out there. It's been successful for them in clock management. Donovan calls for the ball. Fourth down play here. He's going to take off and run. He tucks it, and he'll have the first down. He sneaks across the 32-yard line for a first down for the Tigers. Fantastic job by Donovan Smith. Great decision-making to pull it down and get what he can get.
I'll go ahead and mark it at the 33, but the initial hit was well behind the line to gain for Donovan Smith, but he does a good job of falling forward and muscling his way across that first down marker.
Trips on the far side, handoff there to Will Bayouth, who defender flies right by him, and he will be drugged down, or at least lose his forward momentum, his forward motion, and be ruled down at the 30-yard line. So William Bayouth picks up 3 on the 1st and 10. That'll bring up 2nd and 7 from the Hirschi 30 with 1:30 left and ticking in the third quarter.
Tigers, you just feel like have to score on this drive. It's been a while, and got to go back to that second quarter, the last time they scored. They have been stymied a little bit offensively.
Stacked receivers again, 2 on both sides. Maiden and Coker on the near side. Scott and Hocutt on the far side. He'll flip it out to William Bayouth out in the flat, who'll pick up half the yardage to another first down. So he'll be drugged down at the 28-yard line and out of bounds. He'll bring up third down and about 4 for the Tigers.
It's one where Smith probably needs to put a little bit more air underneath the football and lead Bayouth, because he had a lot in front of him. Bayouth had to kind of go backwards for that football, and that allowed the defender to catch up to him and make the tackle. If not, if he puts that in front of him, they've probably got a first down.
So Donovan Smith, twin receivers on both sides. This time Aaron Brown out to the right in motion. He gets it to Cooper Scott in the slip screen, and he's going to take it all the way down to the 10-yard line, dragging defenders with him. Cooper Scott, nice hard-nosed run after the pass and catch. 35 seconds left in the third quarter. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Tigers from about the 10-yard line.
I think one of the biggest improvements in this offense from last year to this year is your receiver blocking. If you don't block at the receiver position, you don't play in this offense. And I think you see that time and time again in these first couple of weeks with the screen game.
Jordan Maiden checks out. Ty Glass comes in for the Tigers. It'll be a handoff to Aaron Brown, who runs into his own blocker and falls forward for maybe a yard for the Tigers. That's 2nd and 9 now from the 9. The clock is running down. You will have the end of the third quarter here incoming as it ticks down to 0. That's the end of the third quarter here in Wichita Falls at Memorial Stadium, Joe Golding Field. Tigers lead them 24-20 over the Hirschi Huskies as we head into the fourth quarter. This is Friendship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
When you need to do some serious hauling, come on over to Lubbock Truck Sales, the truck and trailer specialists. Parts are never a problem. We can source any part for any need, serving the South Plains since 1990. Lubbock Truck Sales supports Texas Tech University and provides equipment transportation for the Red Raider football team and the Goin' Band from Raiderland. For sales, service, and support, come to Lubbock Truck Sales.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Double T 97.3, Lubbock Sports Station.
Welcome back to Friendship Tigers football on Double T 97.3. Keith Patrick, voice of the Tigers, alongside Choice Woodman. Tigers leading the Hirschi Huskies here in Wichita Falls 24-20 as we head into the fourth quarter. Both teams making their way out onto the field. Tigers have the Huskies backed up to their end zone. 9-yard line, 2nd and 9 from the 9, so 2nd and goal from the 9. Tigers looking to punch one in here in the fourth quarter and extend this lead. Trips on the far side for Donovan Smith. It's a bootleg right. He'll roll that pocket all the way out. Now he sees plenty of room and he's going to run it. He puts his shoulder into a Husky defender and he's going to be called, given the touchdown. My goodness, Donovan Smith busts his way into the end zone, and now we're going to see some yellow on the green. There's a holding penalty on the near side of the field.
It's going on the opposite.
Very
going
nice.
Against Hirschi, so this is going to be a Tiger touchdown that stands because I think you did have a defensive holding penalty. So Donovan Smith, he gets popped pretty good about the 1.5, 2 yard line, but still falls forward right in front of the pylon for the touchdown. Smith with his 2nd rushing score. We've seen him go to his legs a little bit more tonight than we did in week 1, and it's been a big help for the Tigers offense.
Seen him go to his legs in this drive a little bit more than we've seen, but yeah, he would not be denied there. Nice run by Donovan Smith, 9-yard touchdown run as Cage Jones. The penalty for that defensive holding will be enforced on the kickoff, so Cage Jones lining up here for the extra point. As we wait, Tanner Higgins calls for the ball. It's down, it's a high snap, but he gets down, it's blocked. That extra point is blocked, it's been picked up, and you got a Husky with all kinds of room to run. Tigers huffing down the field to catch him. He has a lot of speed. We've seen him run today, and they'll bring it down at the 7-yard line of the Tigers. He almost got there, but it was Colton Anderson that came all the way down the field to catch Amarian Peterson, the speedster, who picked up that block's extra point. So no chance there for the Huskies. You'll have a Gene Messer Toyota kickoff incoming. So after that failed extra point, Tigers lead the Huskies by 10, 30-20 with 11:51 left in the game. This is Friendship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
For golf and
Say goodbye to summer with huge savings at Gene Messer Toyota. Right now, drive the new 2019 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $299 a month. Or choose between 0% APR for 60 months or $3,000 retail customer cash on new 2019 Toyota Highlander gas models. Gene Messer, business done the right way. 19th and West Loop 289. GeneMesserToyota.com.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership in its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Atlas Audiology, Daybreak Coffee, Wellington State Bank, PFG Advisors, United Supermarkets, and Friendship Alumni and Friends. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Your home for play-by-play. Double T 97.3.
Welcome back to Friendship Tigers football in Wichita Falls, Texas Memorial Stadium. Tigers lead at 30-20 over the Hirschi Huskies with 11:51 left in the game. Gene Messer Toyota kickoff. Cage Jones booms one all the way out of the back of the end zone, hits a camera stand beyond the field. He just really has an impressive leg, and he had a little penalty yardage to help him.
That helps too, but it was still an impressive kick. And the Friendship Tigers cap off their longest drive of the evening. It was a 13-play, 75-yard drive, taking 5:15 off the clock, and Donovan Smith scoots into the end zone from 9 yards out to put the Tigers up 30-20. Of course, the extra point blocked, but that could be a key later. Keeps it a 2-score game instead of a 1-score game. Colton Anderson, pure hustle down the field to keep the Huskies from getting the 2-point block into points of their own.
Tristan Randall back in at quarterback, and he'll have a handoff immediately to the speedster, KD Dorsey, and he is brought down by Tristan Laughlin, but not before the Huskies grab themselves a first down on their first play of this drive. Now it'll be first down and 10 for the Huskies from their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, not a lot of first downs for the Huskies tonight, but there was a nice pickup there.
So Randall will send his running back to his left side. You have Tigers dropping back into coverage. It's going to be a handoff once again, and they'll knock him out of bounds, this time by Elijah Garcia. Puts the big shoulder hit on him, knocks him out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Garcia had a whole lot of tackles last week. He was all over the field. Tonight, though, he has not been as active. Very active in that play, though.
So twin receivers both sides. Ball's on the near hash for Tristan Randall, the quarterback. So not seeing the Wildcat anymore. A little bit of a bad snap to his outside. Now he's going to pull it down and run it. Uses the umpire as a blocker and pops it all the way outside to the Tiger sideline. He'll scamper out just past, I believe, the first down marker. See if they give it to him or measure. It is right on the yard line, 45-yard line of the Huskies. Just about an 8-yard pickup, and that will be a first down for Hirschi.
As hold happy as these officials have been, the left guard got away with a big one right in front of the white hat. Got a whole handful of jersey of it. I believe it was Logan Douglas trying to get to the quarterback.
Logan Douglas playing there, that defensive end position here on the near side. Tristan Randall gets the snap in the shotgun. Quick handoff to his running back, but he goes absolutely nowhere. It looked like Desmond Sanders out there lined up in the running back position, Choice. Hard to see numbers. They're a little bit bunched up right now. And I believe that might have been Isaiah Wilson.
Yeah, it's not easy on the old eyes, the powder blue on the red.
Yeah,
or the red on the powder blue to pick up these numbers, especially with the shine from the light.
Remember when you were a kid and you folded George Washington and made him look like a mushroom on a dollar bill? That's what this guy's numbers looks like right now.
It's a little difficult, but I'm trying to get it. A lot of them the same body type too, so it's not necessarily easy to pick up.
So ball on the far hash for Randall. Twin receivers both sides again. He'll go downfield this time and gets it over the outstretched hands of Elijah Garcia, and it'll be a catch just 1 yard shy of the first down. That one is Desmond Sanders on the far side. Daniel Garland out there getting some pressure on and then knocking the receiver out of bounds.
Garland has been eased back in a little bit tonight after not playing last week. We've seen him in limited action so far tonight.
So 4 receiver set for Tristan Randall. Third down as he puts a handoff, and he has Tigers in his face immediately in the backfield. Gets an initial hit back there from, I believe, Tristan Laughlin. You had Kaysen Brito getting back there immediately as well, and then he's gang tackled for a loss. That'll bring up fourth down and 5, ball between the 50 and the Tigers 49.
Yeah, interesting situation here. Do you go for it at midfield, or Do you punt it away with a little under 10 minutes left in the game and down by 10 points? It's not time quite yet to panic, but if you give them the ball at midfield and don't convert, it really puts the Tigers in good situation.
Well, despite the formation, when your quarterback's your punter, there's always danger, but he does punt it downfield to Elijah Garcia, who catches it going backwards, but it called a fair catch, and so he'll be down just outside the 10-yard line. Tigers will take over there with 9:38 left. 1st and 10 from a long 10.
The Tigers really need to hold on to the football and put together a long drive. If you can put together a similar drive to what you did the previous time out, 5 minutes off the clock and scoring a touchdown, that can almost put this football game away. But most important thing is to get points on the board and try to extend the lead, regardless of how much time you take off the clock.
One of those situations where your coaches are down there on the sideline challenging those hog mollies. Open the lanes.
Yep.
Let's get the running game rolling. We want this clock dropping.
Absolutely. And you've got that quarterback, that third dimension of Donovan Smith running the football as well.
4-receiver set, twins stacked on both sides. It is a handoff immediately to Will Bayouth, who barrels his way out to the 17-yard line. Nice little pickup there on that first run. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 4 for the Tigers with 9:23 as it ticks down.
Tigers, you're going to see them slow down quite a bit, obviously. Normally a very up-tempo offense, likes to get going fast with quite a bit of time left on the play clock, but they'll probably run this down inside 15 seconds. Most of these plays before you even see a play called in from the sideline. Actually all the way down to 10 seconds now. They may have to call a timeout.
Yep, 5 seconds left on the clock. Tigers just now getting set. 3, 2. Donovan Smith does get the snap off. Good experience there, and he's going to go quickly to the slot, but it's just a little bit low for Cooper Scott. He knocks it down with a hand as he falls back onto the rump, so incomplete pass there, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 4 from the 17-yard line.
One thing that we've seen out of Smith over the first couple of weeks is, as a Tiger, he'll change the arm angle, but sometimes when he does change that arm angle, it gets a little inaccurate. On that play, a little to the right of Cooper Scott, who was open for a moment. So Smith still working on the accuracy a little bit. But
ball's in the middle of the field, 4-receiver set. Carson Miller is checked in with Jordan Maiden on the near side. Cooper Scott and Drew Hocutt out on that far side. Will Bayouth still there flanking on the side of Donovan Smith. Have a stoppage in play here. Looks like cheerleaders are throwing mini footballs up in the stands, and one bounced out onto the field of play, and someone ran out to grab it. That's not something that officials like to see too much. So fake handoff to Will Bayouth. He'll hit Jordan Maiden in the slot, but he will be dropped down with a very nice tackle by Antonio Wiley, the free safety and coach's son for the Huskies. So 4th down incoming with 8:30 left in this 4th quarter.
It's about a 4-yard loss on the play, so not ideal for the Tigers. It's going to end up going as a 3 and out, and one of those plays was a pass play that stopped the clock. So Frenship not taking a lot of time off the clock a little bit. We'll have to do it with the defense.
So Cates Jones stands in his own end zone, plenty of time to boot it, and he absolutely hammers that football. It is caught back at the 35-yard line. It's Peterson out there, and he is shaking and baking all over the place. He's dropped down by Jordan Maiden on coverage, and we're going to get a holding penalty on this one as well.
Yeah, I think you're going to see this one go backwards a little bit as the penalty right where the ball was caught. Looks like a hold on Wichita Falls Hirschi. But man, Cage Jones booted that ball from basically his own goal line, and it didn't land into the hands of the receiver until the 35-yard line. So that ball, just from the sheer punt standpoint, traveled 65 yards in the air.
It did. Really, yeah, definitely a weapon. That senior kicker in Cage Jones, kicker and punter for the Tigers, 6'1", 175. Just from the punting standpoint, from the field goal kicking and extra point standpoint, very reliable. From the punting standpoint, just an absolute weapon to pin folks back.
Just a pure weapon, absolutely. So now I think they're figuring out where to mark off the penalty from. Should be from the spot, which they finally get the discussion right. So spot was the 36. You'll see it go back to the 26-yard line. So ultimately the punt with the penalty nets you
4 yards. Oh,
no, the punt.
The punt with the penalty, yes.
With the penalty.
So you're 9 yards back from where the punt was fielded. So that ends up being 74 yards. The punt was fielded on the 35.
It was a deep punt.
It was.
Nice punt by
I also
Case.
can't say. I still want to talk more about the hair of the umpire. It's absolutely.
I'm telling
fantastic.
you, T-Pain. Look,
it's fantastic.
Look up T-Pain.
Tristan Randall takes the snap, and he'll send it out to the numbers, and that is to Antonio Wiley, who also plays wide receiver, but he'll be pushed out of bounds fairly quickly there by the Tigers. That'll be a pickup of about 5, second down and 10 now from that 26-yard line.
My eyes aren't good enough to see if he's got the T-Pain grill going or not, but
check that 31-yard line.
But he has definitely got the hair down to middle of the back at least.
It's definitely an excellent look. So trips on the far side, single receiver on the near side. As Tristan Randall calls for the ball. Brady Wolf covering that near side receiver, but it's going to be a handoff to the running back, who's taken down once again very quickly by 3 Tiger linebackers. They just love hitting people down there. That was Stevonte Vaughn, who gets out to the 35-yard line. So now you're looking at 3rd down and about 1.5 for the Hirschi Huskies. Clock ticking down to 7:30 left in the game. Tigers leading at 30-20 over Hirschi.
And if you've got a slow offense or slow-moving offense like Hirschi, this is where you've got to start to rush things a little bit and maybe see you out of sync a bit.
Tigers might be bringing some pressure here, Choice, really trying to get in there. And they do. They have him brought down with basically no gain. Stevonte Vaughn, almost no gain on the play. And it is Jake Gilbert, who's the initial contact, gets a little bit of help from his friends, but nice stand there by the Tiger defense. Now you're facing a 4th and 1 at your own 35-yard line. What do you do if you're Hirschi?
Well, I guess they're probably going to go for it. It's 4th and 1, but if you don't get it here, it sure makes this game look bleak as far as their opportunity to win it. I think you may see them spin their second timeout. We'll see. No.
Trips on the near side, lone receiver on the far side. It is Antonio Wiley, and now that timeout comes in from the sideline.
Yeah, it's such a massive moment in the game for Hirschi that I think even though you don't want to give up the timeout right there, you got to make sure you've got everything set up correctly and you do everything in your power to gain this 1 yard.
Sure. Also give your pretty salty opponent who has a pretty salty defense an opportunity to game plan out over there and get themselves fired up. You got a coach in Mark Roboto who's been around the block a few times and has maybe been in this situation once or twice.
No doubt about it. It does give that opportunity, but if you're not even set up correctly on the offensive side, you end up getting a pre-snap penalty or anything like that. It would be quite disastrous. So it's a big moment, obviously, for both teams. Tiger defense has been good tonight, but they set the bar pretty high last week, so that's what we've got it to compare to. You've seen some good offense as far as running game goes, and especially when you look towards Hirschi's just skill positions. They've got a lot of speed out there. See if they try to utilize that here. They don't need speed. They need power to get this 1 yard.
So we've seen the change. Fred Fleeks, the linebacker running back, comes in. Some of that wildcat look that we saw earlier. 2 receiver set, singles on both sides. Fleeks going to keep it. He's going to run, and he's going to get through the Tiger defense, and it's off to the races. He's running down the numbers and heading for the sideline. Brady Wolf is pumping to get to him, but just a little bit too late. Fleeks will take it on the 4th and 1 all the way to the house, and now it'll be the Tigers only with a 4-point lead over Hirschi, with 6:25 left in the ball game.
There you go. That's exactly what can happen. Speed kills, and they've shown it all night long. If they can find open field, get beyond that 2nd and 3rd level, a foot race, the Tigers are going to lose sometimes, and especially when Fleeks is out there. He's shown it time and time again tonight.
Ritzy Vaez, the kicker, that hold us down, a little bit short legs it, but he does get it through, so the extra point is good. Tigers' lead's been cut to 3. It's 30-27 over the Hirschi Huskies here in Wichita Falls. 6:25 left in the ball game. This is Friendship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
Say goodbye to summer with huge savings at Gene Messer Toyota. Right now, drive the new 2019 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $299 a month. Or choose between 0% APR for 60 months or $3,000 retail customer cash on new 2019 Toyota Highlander gas models. Gene Messer, business done the right way. 19th and West Loop 289. GeneMesserToyota.com.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership in its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Atlas Audiology, Daybreak Coffee, Wellington State Bank, PFG Advisors, United Supermarkets, and Friendship Alumni and Friends. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Double T 97.3, Lubbock Sports Station.
Welcome back to Friendship Tiger Football. Gene Messer Toyota kickoff incoming right now as he boots it down to Ty Glass, who takes it at the 3-yard line. He's off to the races as well. He has some speed and he picks it up quickly, but he is knocked head over heels by a Hirschi Husky. He'll be down at the 18-yard line, and the Tigers will start there with 6:20 left and a 3-point lead over this Hirschi team.
Now, this has been a game that has been very back and forth as far as the momentum goes. If you're just joining us, Tigers got out to a 24-7 lead. 24 of those 30 points they've scored tonight were in the second quarter. They really got going there, and a lot of it was due to self-inflicted wounds by Hirschi. Tigers really had a chance to put this game away in the first half and step on the throat, but were unable to let Hirschi get back into the game, put it 24-14 at the half, and now we sit 30-27 with 6:20 left.
So Donovan Smith in the shotgun. He'll take the ball and hand off immediately to William Bayouth. He is met by Fred Fleeks. That guy is fired up, but he does pick up 2 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers from the 20-yard line of the Huskies.
While I know they're the opposition, Keith, it's still fun and impressive to watch a guy go both ways and do it as well as Fred Fleeks and a few of these other guys for Hirschi have tonight.
They have played hard. That is absolutely the truth. So twin receivers both sides, balls on the near hash. Going to be a handoff again to William Bayouth. One man to beat, and he is brought down after just a 1-yard gain. William Bayouth tries to get a little shifty, but they stayed home on him. That was Antonio Wiley. I can't tell if it's stripy socks or he's got a knee brace on, but got a little swagger out there. This team is fired up right now, and it's up to this Tiger offense to execute against their defense.
And give Hirschi a bunch of credit later on, and as this game has gone on, they've done a great job of open field tackling. Guys for the Tigers that can normally make you miss have not been able to do so in the second half.
Smith calls for the ball in the shotgun, has that 4-receiver set again. Smith will pull it down and bounce back to the outside. He's going out to his right, throws it downfield. It's picked off. That one's picked off at the 30-yard line by the Huskies. Just what you didn't need to happen there. An interception by Donovan Smith to Arad Berry. Smith on the run trying to get it downfield, and Berry just snagged it, threw it right to him.
And Will Bayouth had broken free. He was open about the 30-yard line, but Smith saw him late, gave the opportunity for the linebacker to cut in front of the pass. If Smith catches him a little bit earlier, Bayouth's able to pick up an easy first down and plenty more. Instead, you're looking at a turnover and a chance for the Huskies to go tie it or even take the lead.
So Tigers 5:03 left in the game. They're going to be finding themselves on defense in their own territory. Ball's on the 24-yard line, and the Hirschi Huskies have 1st and 10 from there. Tigers lead at 30-27 right now. Hirschi getting a lot of momentum. Going to be a direct snap to Peterson. He tries to shake and bake in the backfield. He'll maybe get 2 yards on the play. Oh, it looks like he picks up 3. And he'll be brought down there, bringing up 2nd down and 7 for the Huskies.
It is so difficult to win on the road, and we're seeing that here tonight. This Tiger team has not played as well as they did a week ago, but this is also facing a ton of momentum.
So Amarian Peterson is out there taking the direct snap. He calls for it again and goes right into the middle of the Tiger line. He makes it out to the 20-yard line, and he'll pick up 2 more for the Huskies. That brings up now 3rd down and about 5, maybe 6, a long 6 for the Hirschi Huskies. As the clock ticks down, almost 4 minutes left in the game here. Tigers leading at 30-27. Huskies with that momentum and looking for something to happen here. Tigers need to stay home on their assignments. So now you have Fred Fleeks back in at quarterback. It's a handoff to Stavante Vaughn, and he'll get across. It looks like for the first down, he's right at the yard line, right at that 14-yard line, which is good for the first down, and we might get a measurement.
Yeah, this is a really nice counter call by Coach Wiley and company after you just run it out of the Wildcat. They're still running it, but they hand it off this time. We've seen this play 2 different times tonight. This one's going to be right there. I think we're going to get an official measurement if that's how close this one's going to be. Regardless, I would assume you're going to see them go for it as short as this is going to be. But you never know. Maybe they take the attempt at the points and try to tie it up. I'm guessing this is going to be inches or a first down.
You think at home, though, surely you're going to go for it.
Yeah.
And get, rely on your crowd and your momentum.
You would think so. They're going to get the first down, though.
So that'll be a first down for the Huskies on that rush by Stavante Vaughn. He picks up the 5 to 6 yards that they needed. So 1st and 10 now for the Huskies from the Tigers' 14-yard line with 3:56 left in the game. Of course, the clock has stopped currently. Everybody breaks back out onto the field. Husky fans that have hung around are excited. Not a packed house by any means. Good Tiger contingent out there on the other side. Of course, the Frenship Tiger Band here as well doing their part. They are right in front of the band. Wide snap out to Vaughn, and he grabs it with one arm and hauls it in, but he is met immediately by Logan Douglas and Jake Gilbert, and is brought down in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, that snap is what started it all off. Throws off the timing. Football's such a game about timing. You see one little instance of something throwing it off, and it can end up in a negative play like it did right there. Good job by both the linebackers for Frenship of getting into the backfield very quickly.
Well, they like to hit people. We certainly want to see them do as much of that as they can right now. So Fleek still in. All kinds of Wildcat set going on now. He will take the snap for the Huskies. A little bit of a delay before he takes off. He tries to take it to the outside. He's met by Colton Anderson and then is ultimately drugged down by Daniel Garland. Sorry, Joyce. I drug up there by Daniel Garland for a short gain on the play.
Garland hadn't played a lot until the second half. He's been in quite a bit. Him and Wolf have been the primary corners in this second half for Frenship. Not seeing a whole lot of rotation defensively, but I don't need to state how big of a moment this is for the Tigers, but it's huge. You've got a 3rd and long 8, 9.
3rd and 9.
2:20 and counting on the clock. And Hirschi, let's see a timeout called here, I would assume, with 4 seconds left on the play clock.
Hirschi is calling a timeout from the field, as they did have, as Troy said, had the play clock coming down. So the clock is stopped right now at 2:13 left in the game. 3rd and probably a long 8 for the Huskies from the Tigers, about 13-yard line. Tigers lead at 30-27 over the Hirschi Huskies here on the road in their first road test of the season.
Yeah, this is as pivotal of a moment as you face this season. Obviously, after a 31-0 shutout in week 1, not too many nail-biting moments, but you got one right here. The Tigers probably facing a situation where if you get a stopper, hold them pretty far from the sticks, they're going to have to go for a game-tying field goal, and you'd leave enough time for an opportunity to go score and possibly win the game yourself on offense. However, if you can't stop them, they're going to get an opportunity to score or get into the end zone with little time left on the clock.
If you play defense, this is the moment you look for right here. This is what you want to be in, a chance to save the game for your team. Tristan Randall comes in at quarterback, and he's got number 12, Stavante Graham to his right. 4-receiver set, kind of back in the normal situation, and Randall's going to pull it down and run, and he will make his way across down to the 6-yard line. Not a first down, but a much shorter 4th down, a lot more manageable, and he brings it to the near hash.
They're going to spot it at the 7, so his knee went down a little earlier, but still a 4th down. Do they have faith in their kicker? That's the question right here. Kicker is trying to go out on the field. Now they'll finally send him. They thought about it for a little bit. They don't have a timeout. Remember that. Hirschi's out of timeouts, so they cannot think about it too long. They're going to kick the field goal and go for the tie.
Clock ticking down. It's 1:35 right now. 8 seconds left on the play clock as they're still coming set. The holder there, and it is Isaiah Wilson. He gets the ball down. The kick is up by Ritzy Baez, and it is good. So it's a tie ball game here at Memorial Stadium in Wichita Falls, tied up 30-30 between the Tigers and the Hirschi Huskies with 1:24 left in the game. This is Friendship Tiger football on Double T 97.3.
When you need to do some serious hauling, come on over to Lubbock Truck Sales, the truck and trailer specialists. Parts are never a problem. We can source any part for any need, serving the South Plains since 1990. Lubbock Truck Sales supports Texas Tech University and provides equipment transportation for the Red Raider football team and the Going Band from Raiderland. For sales, service, and support, come to Lubbock Truck Sales.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Joe Lynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD Engineering, Friendship Vet Clinic, and AIM Bank. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Your home for play-by-play, Double T 97.3.
Welcome back to Friendship Tiger football on Double T 97.3. Gene Messer Toyota kickoff incoming here. Ritzy Baez has it teed up. Tigers sending a man back. It's not Logan Gilbert, it's Clinton Thetford back there trying to make the fair catch, and he does. Clean catch at the 12-yard line. I think the Tigers were looking for potentially that onside kick, and they sent a man back. Was that Elijah Garcia?
Yes, Elijah Garcia was the one that
struggling making an 8-0 look different.
Quite all right.
Now.
But as you know, the fair catch anywhere inside the 25 goes out to the 25. Right. So a wise play by Garcia. They were just making sure, being safe, that there wasn't going to be an onside kick there for or by Hirschi. So Tigers will have 75 yards to go with $1:24. Hirschi goes 7 plays that last drive, 17 yards, 1:24 off the clock, and finishes it off with a 28-yard field goal to tie it up at 30 apiece. This is where it gets fun.
Yep, 1:24 off the clock in the last drive, 1:24 left on the clock in the game right now. Donovan Smith calls for it. It's a quick handoff to Will Bayouth. He's met immediately, but does fall forward for a 2-yard gain, bringing up 2nd and 8 from the Tigers' 27. Clock is ticking away, 1:10 right now. Tigers not looking like they're in any hurry. Going to pick their offense and be clean and disciplined. It's what you would like to see from them. 3 receiver set, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far. Ball's on the far hash. Smith calls it once again. A handoff to Will Bayouth, and he gets knocked head over heels at the 40-yard line, but not before he picks up the first down and then some. Nice run by William Bayouth, 52 seconds left on the clock.
Bayouth goes up to 93 yards on the night with that carry. They have been hard-earned for him, but only 7 away from that century mark.
Aaron Brown in as the running back. And a handoff to him, the bruiser, as he heads right up into the line as well, and he'll pick up about 5 yards on that play out to the Tigers' 45-yard line. Clock still ticking down, about 30 seconds left at this point.
Odd to see what the Tigers are doing here, just really letting the clock run late in this game.
Maybe just conceding and opting for overtime or taking a shot here. 4 receivers set. Ty Glass jumps out, and Tigers are going to take
a late timeout.
A late timeout, very late.
Odd that they didn't take it 15 seconds ago if they were going to take one. They've got 2 left on the scoreboard. I believe they do have 2. So that's what's odd here. I don't know if they're playing for the field goal, but it seems to be very conservative here, and maybe the coaching staff is a little gun-shy after the Donovan Smith interception on the previous drive, but that's the only true mistake we've seen him make to this point in the season. So I don't know, just a bit curious.
Maybe
I'm going to trust them more than myself, though.
Maybe a situation you got yourself to midfield and you're going to take a couple shots and if you get something, you do, and if you don't, you have overtime as an option. But yeah, not really pushing hard, but you don't want to push yourself into a mistake.
And maybe you see a little trickeration here. You never know what
we've seen it from them before.
Coach Northcutt's got up his sleeve right here, and the screenplay has been very good to Friendship. We'll see if they attack that.
15 seconds left on the clock. Tigers 2nd and 5 from their own 45. Donovan Smith takes it, 4-receiver set, plenty of time and protection, rolls out to his right. He's going to send it way downfield to Drew Hocutt, and he does not make the catch. It was in the arms as he fell down, but great coverage there by Amarian Peterson all over Hocutt, who can't quite make the catch, falling to the ground. So 7 seconds left, and after the incompletion, 3rd and 5 back at the Tigers 45.
Yeah, that was a really good effort down the field, and Hocutt had it in his basket for a moment, but good job by the safety to knock it free at the last moment and couldn't quite hold on. So what would have been clear field goal position for the Tigers now has Friendship likely just another shot. Either you're going to the sideline very quick for try to get to a long field goal range, or you're going to take another shot down the field for a touchdown.
Tigers go 4 receivers, trips on the near side, balls on the far hash. I believe we might have had a timeout once again.
We did.
Prior to the snap. You see Coach Northcutt all the way out on the field calling that one. So 4 seconds left on the clock. I would imagine that will go back to 7.
Yeah.
That will go back to 7, or at least you hope so. We've seen some unusual clock management on the road before and all around playing Texas high school football. It does go back to 7. It's 3rd and 5 from that 45 as teams go into their huddles.
Yeah, so you got to think that the Tigers are where you got to go for a touchdown here or concede and get to overtime, because you don't want to do anything that's going to put you in position to turn the ball over, give the defense a chance to score. But well, we might see how far that Donovan Smith can throw the football here.
I'm willing to wager it's pretty far.
I'm going to guess that.
I've seen him get it down the road in the air.
The wind is definitely still at the back. It's not as strong as it was to start the game, but who knows? Maybe they unleash the leg of Cage Jones. If they can get it 10 yards up the field, maybe they try a really long field goal.
So 4 receiver set here, full prevent defense on by the Huskies, and it's a handoff to Aaron Brown, who gets drugged down from behind, and it's a fumble. It's on the ground, and the Huskies have picked it up, but they're pitching it all over the place, and they're running it to the end zone, and they have been brought down at the 22-yard line. Fumbles and pitches, the ball's still live, being pitched everywhere, and it ultimately gets stopped at the, oh my goodness, at the 13-yard line. That ball was hard to follow.
Well, it's hard to follow because he was brought down, and it would have been an illegal forward pass that they didn't call as well around the 23-yard line. Nonetheless, it's a wild end. 3 different Huskies are beaten up on the play, but that's the end of regulation.
Yep, the end of regulation. Tigers and Huskies tied up 30-30. So in week 2 of the Texas high school football season, the Tigers and the Wichita Falls Hirschi Huskies will be headed to overtime. We will be back for that here coming up. This is Friendship Tiger Football on Double T 97.3.
Say goodbye to summer with huge savings at Gene Messer Toyota. Right now, drive the new 2019 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $299 a month. Or choose between 0% APR for 60 months or $3,000 retail customer cash on new 2019 Toyota Highlander gas models. Gene Messer, business done the right way. 19th and West Loop 289. GeneMesserToyota.com.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership in its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Atlas Audiology, Daybreak Coffee, Wellington State Bank, PFG Advisors, United Supermarkets, and Friendship Alumni and Friends. The Friendship Foundation for Leadership always backs the Tigers.
Station.
Back into Friendship Tigers football on Double T 97.3. as our good friend Nick Long says, a wild and woolly one out here in Wichita Falls.
We got it.
30-30. Tigers and Huskies tied up at the end of regulation and heading to overtime. Goodness, Choice, you want to tell us a little bit about what overtime's going to look like here?
Well, overtime is likely going to look like what we've seen a lot tonight, up and down, at least in this football game. Yeah, this has been an exciting football game, a frustrating football game. It's had a little bit of everything tonight, and definitely looks like a Week 2 football game, too. There's some mistakes out there both teams wish they could have back, and it's kind of evened out and ended up at 30-30. Speaking of Nick Long, don't forget, stick around after we're done here tonight on Double T 97.3. Nick Long and Mike Roden always do a fantastic job with the Friday Night Live scoreboard show. They'll have scores from Panhandle, South Plains, Permian Basin, Big Country, everywhere in our area. They'll have all the scores that you need.
So, just like college, as we talked about, NCAA rulebook for Texas high school football. Ball's on the 25-yard line. It's placed on the near hash. Tigers tied up 30-30, no clock. Everybody gets a chance. So here we go.
Like communism.
4 receiver set, twins on both sides. It's a handoff. No, it's not a handoff to William Bay Youth. Donovan Smith stays with him and keeps it himself. He's making people miss all over the place and bringing it all the way back to the near sideline. And that's going to be a touchdown, Tigers. Donovan Smith lead forward and got it across the plane right in front of the official at the pylon. What a run from the 25-yard line by Donovan Smith.
Donovan Smith finding the end zone for the 3rd time tonight, and that was a heck of a play. You see the athleticism on full display. Wow. You know what you got with Donovan Smith.
Wow is right.
It's a special athlete, and my goodness, he got some great blocks from the left side of his offensive line to get that started, and then he turned on the Jets after that.
Yes, he did. Stayed with William Bay Youth there for the nice fake on that sweep, and then pulled it out and kept it himself and came all the way back across the field. So Cage Jones is lined up for the extra point. Looks like we have a stoppage in play here. There's a Hirschi Husky down outside of the end zone, really close to the sideline over there. Everybody popped up and looked over, and so line judge is going to wait for things as they look at him and work on him a little bit. So my goodness, Choice, we've talked about how smooth Donovan Smith is. We know there's more speed there than maybe you see or you think originally, but man, he showed it off there.
Yeah, that 25-yard gain tonight puts him up to 60 yards on the ground to go along with the 234 he's thrown for. So he is definitely in the category of dual threat. And man, he has helped the Tigers find the end zone. His 3rd score of the night. It has been impressive, but something you cannot take for granted, as we've already seen one block tonight, the extra point. It is uber important once you get to overtime, because if someone gets an extra point gone wrong, that can be the difference in the game.
I mean, you are just a Debbie Downer, Choice. You always do this in baseball. You always talking about all the bad things that are going to happen.
I'm bringing the idea of everything. I'm trying to encompass all that is there for this game of football. No,
you're right.
It's going to happen. I'm just saying it's extremely important.
You're absolutely right. Very important in overtime, 100% to execute here. And it's still waiting, stoppage in play. You still have this Hirschi Husky down there outside the end zone. He is sitting up now, has his helmet off, but glad that he's going to be okay. So I'm just kidding, Choice. I know that you're not wishing any ill will. But
not at all. You know, we've got a long trek home. I would be very happy if they hit this extra point and end it on the defensive side after this.
My goodness. All right, we have the Husky up under his own power and walking back down the sideline as everyone begins to reset. Teams are still in their positions. No clock to tell you about. Tigers currently lead at 36-30 with a very important extra point incoming here from Cage Jones. Tanner Higgins, the holder. Everybody is lined up, and it is tense watching overtime. Higgins calls for it. Snap is good. Ball is down. Kick is up, and that one's going to be good for Cage Jones. So in their first chance at overtime, the Tigers will lead it 37-30. Now the Huskies will get a shot from the 25-yard line. This is Friendship Tiger Football on Double T 97.3.
When you need to do some serious hauling, come on over to Lubbock Truck Sales, the truck and trailer specialists. Parts are never a problem. We can source any part for any need, serving the South Plains since 1990. Lubbock Truck Sales supports Texas Tech University and provides equipment transportation for the Red Raider football team and the Going Band from Raiderland. For sales, Sales, service and support. Come to Lubbock Truck Sales.
Join the Friendship Foundation for Leadership and its support of Friendship School District. Your donation supports student character scholarships and teacher grants for scholarships. Call Cindy Stevens at 866-9541 for information on how you can join these community members and others in support of the students and staff of Friendship ISD. Kyle Rogers with the Sellers Realty, Connecticut Water, Jolynn Wilkins Family Law, AMD.
Welcome back to Friendship Tiger football in overtime here in Wichita Falls. Tigers lead at 37-30 over the Hirschi Huskies. First play from scrimmage from the 25, handoff by Tristan Randall, who's in at quarterback. They pick up about 4 yards on the play, so 2nd and 6 for the Huskies from the 21-yard line. Randall will take it. Got receivers out. He's got pressure all over him. He is able to throw it away.
That's got to be grounding. That ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage, and there was not a receiver in the area either. So this should be intentional grounding, as he was just about sacked, which would push them well far back. There's 6 Tiger coaches that are asking for the flag, and they finally get it.
The line judge came over and talked to the referee, asking practically, should I throw this or not?
Usually they want to make sure they get it right on the grounding, and I think they did this time, sheerly for the fact that he did not get it back to the line of scrimmage.
I think what he might have been feeling, I noticed him look down. I think he missed where the ball landed, and he was thinking, I was a little bit out of position, let's talk. But yeah, so you get intentional grounding here, so that pulls the ball back to the 36-yard line for the Huskies. Huge, absolutely. Everything in overtime feels huge.
It is.
Everything is a big moment.
And don't forget, there's a loss of down with intentional grounding,
there is,
too.
So 3rd and 21, the ball on the 36-yard line, and Tigers leading at 37-30. So Randall in. He's got a 3-receiver set, lone receiver on the near side. He does have that dangerous Antonio Wiley out there, and he's out in the middle of the field. Randall's going to go real deep down to the end zone. Oh, and there's going to be pass interference all over that. Brady Wolf ended up pushing the receiver down in the end zone on that 3rd and 21 pass down there.
And that's really unfortunate, because all Wolf has to do is turn his head around, and the ball's going to end up in his lap, because he's in great position but doesn't turn the head around and ends up running through the receiver. So pass interference, even though you're sitting at a 3rd and 26 or 3rd and 21, is an automatic first down. Like I said, roller coaster game.
It is a roller coaster, and
everything.
Everything matters. Everything matters. So now Tigers still lead 37-30. Now the ball is back down to the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 from there for the Huskies. So we're kind of right back where we were, but with a new set of downs. So trip to the near side, clumped up, single receiver, man on outside on the far side. Randall's going to roll the pocket out to the right. He's looking downfield. Doesn't have a lot of place to go. He's going to air it out for the end zone, and it's caught. It is caught by the Hirschi Huskies down there. No flags on the play, so this will be a 1-point ball game here in overtime with that pass and catch from the 21.
And this is one where he was double covered, but Randall puts the ball far enough back in the end zone that his receiver goes up and gets the football. A nice pass and catch. Now the ever important extra point to come for this to send us to double overtime.
I think that was Isaiah Wilson, number 4 out there, Choice. He had a lot of height, whoever the receiver did, and Wilson's a 6'3" senior, so I think that's who that was.
Now we're getting a timeout before the PAT.
That's how important it is.
Well, I think you're getting, someone can correct me, I think you get 1 per possession. So each overtime you get a 1 timeout. I don't know if this is just sheerly Hirschi calling the timeout to make sure they've got everything lined up correct, or are they going to go for 2 and try to get the W here? I mean, you've got a couple of options. If you're Friendship, you've got to be in the huddle expecting to go for 2 and then adjust back to the extra point.
I mean, second game of the season, can't hold anything back.
Can't hold anything back here.
You got a first-year head coach. You got, at the very least, first-year head coach. He doesn't have a whole lot to lose. Come out there and see what your guys can do.
I think you're about to see them go for 2
here. We
here.
might be going for 2 here, Choice.
And this is what makes football fun. What makes high school football even more fun.
Yeah,
it looks like they will go for 2. They don't have a kicker out there.
They do not, and you have Fred Fleeks coming out.
Actually, they do have a kicker, but
they do.
Okay, didn't see him initially.
I didn't either. It's Ritzy Baez.
They're doing it as a deke move. They're going to put him back off the field.
So Fred Fleeks, and he's in the pistol, sitting in their quarterback, 2 receivers. He's going to try to go to the middle, and he passes it over the top to his man, and they get the 2-point conversion. The Hirschi Huskies are going to beat the Frenship Tigers 38-37 in overtime on the 2-point conversion. Fleeks deked the run and threw it over the top to an open receiver in the end zone.
That was the classic, if you've seen it before, the Tim Tebow jump pass is exactly what that was, where he fakes the run inside and then just jumps up over the line, throws it to his tight end. It was what that receiver was lined up as a tight end, and a heck of a play call, a gutsy play call by Coach Wiley in just his second game. Congrats to him for getting his first win as the Hirschi head coach. But it's a heartbreaking one in week 2. You'd rather see it in week 2 than week 7 or 8. So Frenship will have plenty to learn from this one.
There is a lot to learn, Choice. I think that once we get an opportunity to talk to head coach Jay Northcutt, I think that will be some of the message there. Execution was a problem. There were some discipline issues that were a problem.
11 penalties tonight.
Yeah, shot yourself in the foot a few times, and some situations and some other just kind of bad penalties. Not something we saw last week, a little bit different this week. Can't let talk get to you on the field. That's another important thing to think about, personal fouls. So certainly interested to hear what their thoughts are. That's a tough one for the Tigers. Tough one to swallow in overtime, even if it is on the road. You never want to lose one, no matter what. But you're right, better in week 2 than late in the season when you have more on the line.
It doesn't make it sting any less right now, for sure, because this one is a tough, hard to swallow loss, especially when you think about this game. I mean, the Tigers really could have crushed the spirit of Hirschi, and credit the Huskies for not going away, but they could have crushed the spirit in the second quarter when Hirschi was just, it seemed like the wheels were falling off. They had fumble after fumble, mistake after mistake. The onside kick that shouldn't have been an onside kick. They had a lot of mistakes going on. Tigers jumped out to a 24-7 lead, and that's what makes this one sting even more, to lose at 38-37. But that elusive first road win under Coach Northcutt is going to be elusive for another week. It was a tough loss here at Wichita Falls, but you still feel like there's progress being made in the overall grand scheme. Took a little bit of a step back tonight, but still a lot of good to take away from this football game.
No, I agree, Choice. And you certainly, a loss, it's tough to swallow, but even if you look at this team as a whole, you just see how much more talent there is there, how much more fire there is, especially on the defense. And, you did have some miscues tonight, and they hurt you a little bit, but at the end of the day, you've seen a team that has come from a really difficult place a couple of seasons ago and now is in a position where they're in ball games, they're winning ball games, they're shutting opponents out, and there's plenty more good to come this season despite a frustrating situation. Like our friend Andy Penny used to say to Frenship fans, hey, it's coming. I think it's here.
I think
you just have a tough one tonight.
Yep, got a tough one to swallow tonight, and Tigers really hit the struggle bus offensively in the second half. I think you'll see some adjustments made there. Definitely some defensive breakdowns. Let some receivers get behind you that shouldn't have, and there's a lot to pick apart once they open up the game film from this one. But once again, credit this Hirschi team. There was no quit in them, and they returned the favor of Frenship winning on their home field last year. Hirschi wins on their home field to close out this series this year at Wichita Falls Memorial Stadium.
I know that Frenship isn't the team that won, but watching some Hirschi Husky players chase down their brand new head coach and dump a Gatorade cooler on him in the end zone is fun to watch, because he was full out running to get away.
Yeah.
So Frenship Tiger Band playing the school song right now as our friend Casey Smith down there will chase down head coach Jay Northcutt for us. I think she's just about got him, kind of finishing some things up as he finishes speaking to the team and they move down to the Tiger Band. And we'll grab him here in just a moment. Sorry we missed him before halftime. Had a couple of things going on, but we interested to hear what the head man has to say and what he's going to talk to his team about. Choice, tell us what we're doing next week and where these Tigers are going to be.
Well, these Friendship Tigers are back in Lubbock and back against a crosstown rival. Always a whole lot of fun when you take on the Lubbock Cooper Pirates, and that's who it'll be. These Cooper Pirates and Friendship Tigers have bad blood for each other on the football field. Lots of them are friends off the football field, so those kind of crosstown rivalries always make for a good atmosphere, and we've seen that a lot through the years between these two football teams as well, since this rivalry has been rekindled.
Absolutely, always when the line of traffic between Peoples Bank Stadium
It's
and
wild.
Yeah, the Marshall Sharp Freeway is always something to see. People walking in, crazy game atmosphere out there. Looks like Casey Smith has grabbed a hold of head coach Jay Northcutt down there. Coach, tough one tonight, I know, but what's your message to the team out there when you talk to them?
Oh, you know, we talk a lot about adversity, and you know, one of the things we it's how we handle it will define us. And we didn't handle it real well in this game at all.
With China,
we're facing it going into this next
the European Union.
Cooper. So how we bounce back from this, you know, that's really going to be what defines us, I believe. You know, we knew, and we talked about Hirschi being a dangerous team. They're a team with a lot of athletes, and if you let them hang around, then they're going to be in the game, and unfortunately, that's what we did tonight.
So, Coach, I know you've got plenty of film to watch on this one before you can fully judge it, but what's the message as far as not letting this one loss turn into more losses going into that Cooper game?
Well, like I said, we can't let this game define us. We still have a lot of football left to play. I think we're still a good team, much improved team. You know, we got to learn how to go win a game week one and then make sure we prepare to week two. You know, and that falls on us coaches, and that falls on me as the head coach, and we got to get these guys ready.
Coach, we know you will. We know that you're the man to get out there with your crew and talk to these guys about character and what it's going to take to come back from a difficult one and bounce back against Lubbock Cooper. We look forward to seeing you guys next Friday. We know it's going to be a good one. Y'all have a safe trip home.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. All right, well, that's head coach Jay Northcutt after a tough loss to the Hirschi Huskies here in Wichita Falls in overtime, 38-37. We'll be back after this break to wrap it up for you, talk about the final stats, give you a few score updates. This is Friendship Tiger Football on Double T 97.3.